meditation, looking to Zarak and recall over the people in the sequel. When Kadash is caught up to meet Yahusha in the sky, whether we're moved or we're alive, when the shofar is blown, it's time. Make sure my loan won't get denied. I'm building my credit, cause I'm indebted. Don't have the room to keep adding no messes. My time in is borrowed, so any transgressions I'm casting away, making Yasha investments. It's a Barak and no blessing. My Nafash need a rest in place. I keep pressing, hoping I see his face. First resurrection, I'm gonna be headed
on the way up, catching all the views like an elevator. Always on the rise, I stay all the way up. Don't get it confused, I'm on my elevator. Scraping up the skies, I stay all the way up. Taking in the views on my elevator. Always on the rise, I stay all the way up. Don't get it confused, I'm on my elevator. I stay on my elevator.
I stepped on the elevator of life as I slowly ascended. Relationships descended. Had to stop to let them off, but it wasn't what I intended. All of he's off fit to crack the whip, so I gotta make sure LB's equipped with the necessary tools to get a mansion and not a room that's guarded by the gates of joy. I cannot refuse. Soon we're about to erupt. That's why I'm stuck on this elevator going up.
On the way up, catching all the views like an elevator. Always on the rise, I stay all the way up. Don't get it confused, I'm on my elevator. Scraping up the skies, I stay all the way up. Taking in the views on my elevator. Always on the rise, I stay all the way up. Don't get it confused, I'm on my elevator. I stay on my elevator.
Turn down for what? We stay all the way up. Right pad, no doze, like I'm trying to stay up. Waiting for my Husha to return, I'm checking to see. Don't know the hour, so I'm watching, yeah. I'm the 2 beach, making sure my house in order, yeah. I'll be waiting up for you, yeah. Bake the cake, not one of hate or display, I adore you, yeah. Cook this song up for you, yeah. I appreciate you, when it's my bye-bye, see you later. Pray I catch your elevator, Vader.
On the way up, catching all the views like an elevator. Always on the rise, I stay all the way up. Don't get it confused, I'm on my elevator. Scraping up the skies, I stay all the way up. Taking in the views on my elevator. Always on the rise, I stay all the way up. Don't get it confused, I'm on my elevator. I stay on my elevator.
No map. What we gonna do?
So no matter what they say,
No matter what they do,
I won't.
so no matter what they say, no matter what they do, I can't, and I won't.
Inhale and exhale, I'm closer to mortality. I'd rather go out like a soldier than be part of his fatality. But all just like a Pharisee. Here's a little bit more clarity. I'm still here and I'm not losing my soul on a technicality. Satan had my mentality, had to make changes so drastically. Mine gon' lay nights on the phone, girl, please. I had no gravity. Can I live right in the sight so I can take flight? Sounds like a fantasy, but not like how Mariah be. Gotta develop tenacity, studying his anatomy so I can learn this strategy to fight these principalities that live life up so lavishly. Their time is winding gradually, and I'm just here chancing for weak to earn a road that's hard to obtain and vibrant white like coconut meat.
No matter what they do,
I can't,
and I won't.
so no matter what they say, no matter what they do, I can't,
and I won't.
I was told to follow follow my dreams, so I went back to sleep. Drawn with the cares of this world, but now it's in reality. The serpent forced me to the left with a cutoff that was so vicious. Pinned me right, got him blocked. Now I'm in the position, too close to the goal. I'm not missing to follow what has been written. My soul needs a deep provision, hoping my sins are forgiven. I did some things in Kai that I'd rather not mention, cause I'm guilty. Deceptive speech, bad mind, I should be out of the city, enticed by the world, precise with the curls. And I know that's hard to believe, coming from a country girl. Pearls haven't been cast in vain. I ain't gon' split, nah. You might see me struggle, but you not gon' see me quit.
Hey. No matter what they do, I can't, and I won't. So no matter what they do, I won't.
I go hard in the paint like a ball player with no J. Had old bros and old folks try to pull me back to my old ways, but I ain't going back to those ways. Nah, homie, no way. If it don't fit, you must have quit. I thought they learned from OJ. I don't fit in, had to separate. You're not my art, we from separate plates. The milk you drink from the churches got lactose, I'm intolerant, I defecate. I need the word so I can eat it up. The whole roll, not pieces of. Rightly divided from an each who tried it. Who's honest of Yehudi, not that creed stuff. Go too far now, leave for what? Seen a lot of people come and go, but they were dishonest though. If they wasn't, they wouldn't stuck around for the come and go. To live Kadash with it, clean your mind, body, heart, and the flash with it. Pray your whole keep my mind in robbing this, so I don't see another way. Turn around, stop and quit. I ain't giving up. Nigga. Hey.
I can't, and I won't. So no matter what they say,
No matter what they do, I can't, I won't. I can't give up now.
walking on this road, so you're not alone. Look.
I can't lie to you and tell you this road will never feel lonely.
If you got your who with you,
But if you got you who are with you, you're never truly alone.
listen.
Walking on this road.
Walking on this road.
No, you're not alone.
No, you're not alone. No, you're not alone.
Walking on this road.
Walking on this road, yeah.
No, you're not alone.
No, you're not alone. No, you're not alone.
It's just like they say, many hands been light work. The problem is a hob ain't never been one of your sight words. And people go around help, but that's just a sight word. An excuse to not do work, just leave you hurt cause they don't like birds. That's action, the work behind the passion. Everybody say what they would've done when you in caskets. And I know you hate getting these tests, but you gon' pass, get you connected to the source that's got power that's everlasting. My advice is be quick to hear and be slow to speak. But to let you hold on to them burdens till your shoulders weak. No guarantee you gon' wake up, but you gon' go to sleep. Get it right while you got a chance, so in Shalom you meet.
Walking on this road.
Walking on this road.
No, you're not alone.
No, you're not alone. No, you're not alone.
Walking on this road.
Walking on this road.
No, you're not alone.
No, you're not
No, you're not alone.
No, you're not alone. No, you're not alone.
Trouble in my way, I gotta cry sometime. And I'll be lying, I said ain't never wanted to die sometime. But I belong to Yahuwah cause he's always sometime. And if you at that point, the best advice is try sometime. To keep you in perfect peace if you stayed on them. They ain't just when you pray 3 times a day, but meditate on them. The best example of a hob, but still they hate on him. Why you so quick to faint just when they came, or won't you wait on them? And I'ma tell you like my dad would say, son, use your head more than a paperweight. Except they help to hold your burden than you think and say. When you got help that feel way lighter than what paper weighs.
Walking on this road.
Walking on this road.
No, you're not alone.
No, you're not alone.
No, you're
No,
you're not alone. No, you're not alone.
Walking on this road. Walking on this road, yeah.
No, you're not alone. No, you're not alone. No, you're not alone. As you
Walking on this road.
what they gotta know.
No, you're not alone.
No, you're not alone. Yeah.
Oh yeah, hey Mark, you are.
Who you wanna be with?
I just want to be with you. Yahusha. I just want to be with you. I just want to be with you. Yahusha. I just want to be with you.
Look. I heard the rumors in your mouth cool, think I'm all inclusive. Many get caught, but few get chose, you know real exclusive. Set aside for the Kadashi pure, that resisted the will of flesh to do the will of you. As a child, used to get angry a lot. Frown on my face bigger than what I'm angry about. But now I choose to see the joy to come. Basking the being so bright that there's no need for the sun. It's elementary, it's about place value. Your final destination based on where you place value. Rest of you coming may not wanna be around you. Who were trying to lift you up, so no surprise they wanna down you. Just keep your focus locked in and on your goal. It won't be too much longer until we headed home. Let's kaboo your hoover through your hoochie every song I sing. And don't you ever forget.
I just want to be with you.
I just wanna be.
I just want to be with you. Yahusha. I just want to be with you. I just want to be with you.
Look. Humble. I can't lie and say that it come natural. Cause I done been a proud boy but never seen the capital. Though I seek to be capitalized. If I'm humble enough, y'all will exalt in time. That's why you call like the seed that has been planted. If I can take the rain with the sun, I'll be established. Then I go upright and closer to you. Resisting the flesh, walking in the light of truth. If you keep me in the light, I know that I won't stumble. And all the things that made me trip, I can step over. Or better yet, I can simply avoid. Not choosing you the big tip of your sadiq of joy. I know you who will be with you while you be with him. That's why I come seeking you in Yahushua. The Father gave all he had unto his only son. That's why I'm trying to be a joint heir with the Ben.
I just want to be with you. Yahusha. I just want to be with you. I just want to be with you. Yahusha. I just want to be with you.
I just wanna be. I just wanna be.
I'm with the Yahudi, yeah. I got a few things to get on the chest. My life has changed for the best. And if you're curious, what will you ask? I'm with the Yahudi, I'm with the Yahudi, yeah. Please excuse me while I take some of your time. I'ma tell you about a few things that's been going through my mind. To be a Kadashi, it takes, believe me, you gon' grind. All the while I'm walking circumspect, and yes, I stay in line. Taking up my 280. Yeah, this world is crazy, ooh, you're looking so enticing. I'll be damned if you persuade me. Gotta break up out this slavery. I done start having these babies. It's like challenge after challenge. I don't let the Satan take me. Come on. My opinion ain't split. Got a war without a stagger just to make you who it is. Better stop these sellers trying to turn it back. I ain't fit. Call me CA on hammer cause I'm too legit to quit. Troy put me in the mix, I'm perfect. So stand I hear a still small voice saying, this is the right way. Go ahead and walk straight. I got a few things to get off my chest. My life has changed for the best. And if you're curious, what will you ask? I'm with the Yahudi, I'm with the Yahudi, yeah. I got a few things to get on my chest. My life has changed for the best. And I'm just making sure you don't forget. I'm with that Yahoo, oh with that Yahoo, yeah, who's just coming back. Y'all already know this, they done so much to throw us. I'll allow that I stay focused, move by conquer, that's the motive. They ain't got nothing to hold us. If we just stop being slow for a while, I'll put us on notice. Hear me talking, look out, all we the cop, serving the passive earth pig. Now we strapped up because I just stood more than once. I'm gaining back my confidence. I know what I get so comfortable when I ain't accomplished, and I ain't taking this for granted. Everything is on the line. Stay lit and I'll shine. The Malcolm will be mine until then. Operation no sin till y'all feel me tight. This way got me superior, and yes it got me feeling like these sinners ain't got nothing on me. Table full of vomit, so I know you ain't clean. I know you never consider the what you hearing, cause your pastor got your deacon and your usher pregnant. That's so sick, y'all follow back. My life has been for the best, and if you can read this before you ask, I'm with the Yahoo, I'm with the Yahoo, yeah. I got a few things to get off my chest. My life has changed for the best, and I'm just making sure you don't forget. I'm with the Yahoo, I'm with the Yahoo, yeah. I got a few things to get off my chest. My life has changed for the best. Bitch, you give us your respect. I'm with the Yahoo, I'm with the Yahoo, yeah.
Sinners ain't got nothing on me. These sinners ain't got nothing on me. These sinners ain't got nothing on me. Say when you wake me in the morning, drop my two up, drop my two up. Say when y'all wake me in the morning, drop my two up, drop my two up, drop my two up. Say when y'all wake me in the morning, drop my two up. Home, better know what I got to do. Home, better know what I got to do. Say when y'all wake me in the morning, I strap my two up, strap my two up, strap my two up. Take it on my two daily. You can say I strapped it up. I know Satan gon' get at me. That nigga ain't letting up. It's up to you to make the choice. Fight it, get past it. Oh, you drop your guard. You finna get your got $1,000,001 devices. Delivery service well, specially made cater. You'd have thought it was a gift. I'm rapping to a drill. Edging toward the cliff, grumbling like a bag of chips. Talking about you need to dip. Oh, the wash your thoughts tip. Believe me, it's a shame. Chop them down like bricks. John called baby cams. He get married to the lamb. It's so much I show one worthy. Invitation to the soul, but I know it's gon' take some self. Say when y'all wake me in the morning, drop my two up, drop my two up, drop my two up. Say when y'all wake me in the morning, drop my two up, drop my two up, drop my two up. Say when y'all wake me in the morning, I strap my two up. I don't really know what I got to do. I don't really know what I got to do. Say when y'all wake me in the morning, I strap my two up, strap my two up, strap my two up. Good, look at that. I don't really know what I got to fight. But ain't nobody gon' already know when it comes to the light. Every year double examine about my lifestyle, I'm finicky. It might work for you, dog, but all ain't really fitting me. Circumspect accountably, I got people counting me. Heard a wise man say, can't shame y'all, me up, my family, cool with it. Fantasy ain't trying to burn like a calorie. Whatever it take to deny the flesh, even take a cut for the salary. A lot of things I desire, probably change the situation quick. Only problem is it's the opposite. Who you wish you were planning don't fit. Some say my piece with a glitch. Many ways your best shifts away. I gotta make a bill with my maker, cause ain't trying to do with the grace. Say when y'all make me in the morning, strap my two up, strap my two up, strap my two up. Say when y'all wake me in the morning, I strap my two up, strap my two up, strap my two up. Say when y'all wake me in the morning, strap my two up. Oh, but I know what I got to do. Oh, but I know what I got to do. Say when y'all wake me in the morning, I strap my two up, strap my two up, I strap my two up.
This is another Big League production.
Come on, y'all! Keep your head up. Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. Yeah! You need to know trouble don't last always. And if you're feeling down about it, this is what you say. Hey, let's keep it positive. Let's keep it positive. Let's keep it positive. Let's keep it positive. Positive. A simple as initiative of how we ought to be. Working all together like the organs in your body. But we can be a rich family like the Saudis. To show each other love, now that's an energy. Negativity will sting you like a bumblebee. Even positive is first on the battery. Just read it right to left, that's how it's supposed to be. And I see women running through men so casually. We lacking moral and ethics, that's called humanity. Understand? What you give out is what you get. So don't expect to garden flowers if you plant a lint. Yeah! You need to know trouble don't last always. And if you feeling down about it, this is what you say. Hey, let's keep it positive. Let's keep it positive. Let's keep it positive. Let's keep it positive. You need to know trouble don't last always. And if you feeling down about it, this is what you say. Hey, let's keep it positive. Let's keep it positive. Let's keep it positive. Let's keep it positive. All round girls, it's time to flourish, girl. That's essential like a massage bar. Go, keep your modesty high like a loft and real authentic. Draw near to your hoosha, he will keep your candle lit. And that's an absolute if you stay in total compliance. Bring your caboose to the one who's covering our life. He be the one to endue you with power to slay that giant. Immaculate, so your hoosha's larger than life. So let's put down all the strife and become unified. Hurry up this message back and forth across the lines. Reflections are connections to get you in the direction of perfection for election. That's one of a kind. You need to know trouble don't last always. And if you feeling down about it, this is what you say. Hey, let's keep it positive. Let's keep it positive. Let's keep it positive. Let's keep it positive. You need to know trouble don't last always. And if you feeling down about it, this is what you say. Hey, let's keep it positive. Let's keep it positive. Let's keep it positive. Let's keep it positive. And keep it positive on the daily, ladies. Because you never know what someone else is going through. If you see a sister fall, be there to help. Because you never know. Next time, might be you.
Oh, I say the word brought me here.
It's your Hoosha's word. It's your Hoosha's
No, I
word.
can't lie. Say the word had brought me here.
Yes, it brought me here. Yes, it brought me here.
Oh, I say the word brought me here.
That's what brought me here. That's what brought me here.
Oh, I say the word had brought me here.
That's what brought me here. Yeah, that word that brought me here.
The word, that's what brought me here.
Me here.
My sight was so blurry, but now I'm seeing clear.
I can see.
The bar coming steady, flow my knowledge stay increasing. Just to save my soul, that's why I'm here to only read. Oh, I know that offense must come. I'll admit that I did something that was really dumb, but I can't change it. Gotta keep moving, gotta keep progressing. I put it in your hoose's hands, so it's no more stressing. I call that beat like, hey, let's get it. Hit the stool, spit and kill it. Many are called, but few are chosen. Rub it in just like some lotion. Man, I'm too peculiar people who be filled when I skin so lethal. I can't speak for you, but I gotta be part of the sequel. I say the word brought me here.
It's your Hoosha's word. It's your Hoosha's
No, I
word.
can't lie. Say the word had brought me here. That's what brought me here. Where that brought me here. Oh, I say the word brought me here.
That's what brought me here. That's what brought me here.
No, I can't lie. Say the word had brought me here.
That's what brought me here.
Where they brought me here.
Oh, I know what brought me here. The bar coming from my rock apostolate, covered up like a pearl hitting in the clown. So once he discovers you'll be his precious gem. Hey, better than rubies, birds chirping. Yeah, that's foul language. You ducking high like an ostrich cause your soul is anguish. You sick and tired of being sick and tired of your actions. Infraction come when you've been taught, so what's the counteraction? Resist the fight, you're not alone, you owe it to yourself. Don't be foolish, giving all to nobody else. Save yourself and be submissive to the one above. And if you marry, give your reverence, take care of your club. Yeah!
I say the word brought me here.
It's your Hoosha's word. It's your Hoosha's
No, I
word.
can't lie. Say the word had brought me here. That's what brought me here. Yeah, that brought me here. Oh, I say the word brought me here.
That's what brought me here. That's what brought me here.
No, I can't lie. say the word and brought me here. That's what brought me here. Yeah, that brought me here.
John Dummy made the beat and I'm gon' kill it.
Hey, whoa, flashing. All day we keep our light on, we flashing. Yahoo ding, we get it and we bout that action. Mr. Yahuwah lit us up and now we flashing. Send us be acting, yeah we flashing. All day we keep our light on, we flashing. Yahoo ding, we get it and we bout that action. Mr. Yahuwah lit us up and now we flashing. There's no capping. Look, that city you see on the hill, that's us. Been elevated by Yahuwah. We that up, all the way turn. We ain't coming down soon. Your God is a clown fool, and I honor him. We trust, nigga. Not a dollar bill, not a pinky ring. You think we hot, boy? The way we bling bling. From the inside out, check our lifestyle. Man told you cut your lights on. Why your lifestyle? Cinnamon, I know the deal. Don't lie, keep it real. You wanna touch, you wanna feel. Go against your rules, will. Living like a savage, and you keep on going backwards. Hold on, Ross, we'll look a shot. We get our oil from Yahuwah, and we flashing. All day we keep our light on, we flashing. Yahoo ding, we get it and we bout that action. Mr. Yahuwah lit us up and now we flashing. Send us be acting, yeah we flashing. All day we keep our light on, we flashing. Yahoo ding, we get it and we bout that action. Mr. Yahuwah lit us up and now we flashing. There's no cap, brother, how the Yahoo ding keep us sparking the dark. Resemblance of the opera, we get it from our part. We get taught the bar after the pattern in the heart, and we do self-examination so we don't miss the mark. That's why when Big Lee approached me with this song, he was feeling like, Mom, you gon' get on? I was like, don't let me hear. I need to get on something, I ain't been on one in a minute. I'm a rough all I ain't to the bone if I did it. So I get my shine on, nigga, bling-a-ling-a-ling. Shit, we compliment each other like a finger in the ring. We keep it lit to shine my aim, that's why we sure how should ring. We stay cooking up some more sinners, the dishes in the sink. Phillies martial flashing. All day we keep our light on, we flashing. Yahoo ding, we get it and we bout that action. Mr. Yahuwah lit us up and now we flashing. Send us be acting, yeah we flashing. All day we keep our light on, we flashing. Yahoo ding, we get it and we bout that action. Mr. Yahuwah lit us up and now we flashing. There's no capping, for shaking, for shaking, for shaking.
My own big room? All right. Yes, sir. How you guys doing tonight? All right. Wednesday night, new vibes. Man, please take a seat. Once we start service, get security, please get her out, please. Yeah. The Hebrew Israelite Church is down there to the left. Make a strong right. They're out there on the corner preaching. They got the big things on. They got the curtains, man. You can take, if you want, you can take those curtains off the kitchen. Hallelujah. How's everyone doing? I'm not everyone's cup of tea, I guess, but it's all right. One thing about it, whether you get it from me or somebody else, that's what really matters, you know. I know when I was a little bit younger, I used to love to debate and want to have ego contests and all types of stuff, man, and show who's smarter and not smarter, but at the end of the day, nobody really benefits from that except for the two people fighting. And most times when not two people fighting, only care about their point of view anyways, and don't really care about getting any information or knowledge that's going to benefit people, and it's really just always about themselves. So you learn that over time, definitely. Learn that, you learn about what's really benefit for everyone else. Now, even Shaul told, I think he wrote to what they call Timothy about avoiding debates and genealogies and endless things. Said they're endless genealogies, which they are in a sense. If you look at it, a lot of stuff we look at with a genealogy, most of us, even white people, obviously it can go farther than a lot than the so-called black man, but really most people go back maybe 5 or 6 generations, if that. And the so-called black man, I think most would say they probably stop at about the slave ship. If I'm correct when I hear people talk about it. Yeah, at best, you know what I'm saying? Even there's a lot of white people can only go back to when their forefathers came over here through migration or immigration or emasculation. Not sure if that's the right word, but it rhymes. But it's amazing because, you know, we actually have a genealogy of Yahushua. Like, you actually have a perfect genealogy from his mom's side and his father's side. In the book, we believe, there's an actual genealogy. You can trace his genealogy back. And even before that, you'll see in the book of Bereshit, its genealogy is going, father to father to father, all the way down. And today, we don't have that. Like, no one can really do that. And that's why it's amazing, a lot of these groups that teach you got to be a certain race or a certain genealogy to be saved. I just want to know how you're going to prove it out. You can't, what you're going to use the book? Well, see, Yahuwah, look at Alahah Dabarim, chapter 28, and about 62. That's probably us. More than like, you know what I'm saying? And it probably is, but I don't know if that's going to fly in judgment. I just really don't know if that's going to fly because in the 7th chapter of the book of Nachum Yah, it was men that came out of captivity, and these came up, and these people said they're from Yasharah, and they said, we don't got no paperwork for you. They could easily say, well, hold on, now you see what color I am, and we just came out of captivity with you, so you know we fulfilled the prophecy. I got you, but just the thing is, you just don't got the record. You don't got the knowledge, right? You ain't been recorded. For whatever reason it was, whether it got lost, whatever the case may be, is not here right now. And so, that's how strictly it was for that, because it was actually for Louis. In order to be a Kohan, you had to come from Louis, what they call Levi. And they actually said, you're not recorded on here. We don't got none of it. But whether your fathers were here or not, it's not here. We ain't saying you can't believe and be a part, but you can't be in his office. So this is the law now. This is back at what they had to do. I'm just trying to make sure when you hold to this, don't go to the judgment talking about it's some maps here. See, if you look, Haiti is basically Luim, and pull out different books from authors that already tell you what you want to believe anyways, and say, Yahuwah, say, you see this is. Because he will look and say, well, I got a list that's called the Book of Life, and this is actually genealogy I'm keeping track of. So if you're going to hold to you're the tribe of Simeon, or all these different tribes they got where they say they're from, whether it be a lost tribe or a found tribe, I don't know how you're a lost tribe and you're in it, so you found it. But either way the case may be, I'm just saying, just make sure it's according to the law, because these men had to go before the Kohan and said, well, I don't see your names here. So just make sure whatever paperwork it was, I don't know what it was it birth certificates, whatever it was, just make sure you got that paperwork. Because I'm sure there's no way he's going to say they couldn't get in, but you can with some possibilities. It's believed this, it's believed that, it's believed we migrated here and this and that. That's all fine. These men could have said the same thing. They could have said, look, here's the thing about it. It's recording the book we believe. It's in the Torah. We've got these men's name in the Torah, and they're still saying it's not in the paperwork we got. The thing about what I'm saying, their name is actually written. We can read about it. Give me, go ahead, do this Torah real quick. It's Wednesday, so I don't got all that power to be up for 2 hours. So we got to hurry up. Go get that Romans 15:4, and the other one, you give me Nachum Yah chapter 7 real quick. And I ain't gonna be before you guys long at all either. I don't want to say that. I take that back. Not as long as I would like to be. I'm trying to get them 2 hour sermons every time. But I want you to be like, man, he better talk all day. You right. This Romans. One of y'all got Romans 15:4 already?
Yes, sir.
Go ahead, Chris.
For whatever Nikatab before, Nikatab to Lamadas.
Yep.
So that through endurance and through the Nakum of the Ketuvim, we might have Tikva.
Yep. So if you look at this, one thing I want to ask y'all when we get done, when I get to go into my little rant real quick, you know, what is it that we're not believing about this book? Because we have to believe this book and what's in this book in order for us to really make it in and please him. So I want to know, what is it? I would like to hear from you guys honestly, what is it you're not believing? But go ahead and give me Nehemiah chapter 7 real quick. I think it's about verse 51. You jump on, I know it's 64. Jump, I come down, hold on. Go to 61, go to 60. See what 60 says. Go up. Not the temple server. Go up. All right, go ahead. I hate to make y'all read this, but I just want you to hear the names. So they read it, they seen, they heard it. Go ahead.
The Beni of Shaphiyah,
Uh-huh.
the Beni of Katil, the
Yep.
Beni of Pokereth, Hat Sabayim, the Beni of Ammon.
Mm-hmm.
All the Mashkan Abadim and the Beni of Shalomah Abadim were 390 and 2.
Yep.
These were they who came up from Tel Malak, Tel Kashah, Karub, Adon, and Amur, but they could not show their Abba, Beth, or their descendants, whether they were of Yasharal.
So I wanted you to hear names because if you actually look at, in the book we believe, they got their names written in this book, and it actually says where they came from, right? A lot of these folks that are going to claim lineage don't even have this. Now, these are people who have their name actually in the book that we're reading about today, and we're actually reading about their denial, like they're like long denied type stuff, you know what I'm saying? But they actually could go in judgment, have a better chance to say, look, Yahuwah, I mean, my name is actually written in your Torah. You know what I'm saying? None of us have that. None of our names are written in here. And these folks were rejected. I'm just trying to figure out, what are you going to show Yah when it comes to Judgment Day when you say, well, you know, hold on, I know I did some stuff I shouldn't have did, but really I'm going to try to Issachar. I can prove it. Because, see, it's believed that Issachar got mixed up with the Greeks over here and sailed over here to Iopus and came from Iopus. And then the one author I read, if you read his bibliography, he was saying the footnotes should say that somehow they got over here to America, and Simeon was already here in America. He mixed up with Issachar, and we built tribes here. Then they came. All this is going to be, let me see. You got it from an author who already believes it. You got it from everywhere, but I'm just trying to figure out what exactly did these men have to show, because they could have said, look, man, we came from Babylon where you just came out of captivity. We're the same color as you are. Heck, you know us. We've been around you. What do you mean our father's name ain't here? They said they come and prove it. I'm just asking myself, what do they need to use to prove? And I'm just saying, if you're going to believe, not saying we believe it, but anyone, do you have enough paperwork when this man calls you and says, okay, fine, I tell you what, you was a adulterer, I give you a pass because you're from Issachar, let's do it. Just show me your birth certificate, show me your records. Give me Matthew 2nd chapter, or Matthew chapter 1 real quick. Because it should look something like this you're about to see right here. Yeah, go on up. Okay, yeah, go ahead. Keep going on. Because it should look something like this. If you're going to hold it to your genealogy, it really should look real simple like this. This is a family tree right here. You ain't got to read it, but you see how you're about to go down? Son of Daud, the son of Abraham, keep going. Look at this. You see all this father, 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 and keeps on going to the next father. You see, it should look something like that. Because I'm trying to figure out how Yahusha's got it. The people in the Bereshit, the different, they've got all the straight genealogy, and you ain't got nothing but 5 generations back. And I can assure you 5 generations back is way after the 12 tribes came to play. Because eventually you're going to have to take your name back to one of them tribes. That's what you're claiming. It ain't going to happen. Now, I can assure you, if I had a little more time, I really could open up and tear the whole thing down in a matter. But I don't have my hour and a half, 2 hours tonight. Because I would draw it out real nice and slow and just let it bleed out real smooth. I really would, but I just don't got the time. We got other things, fish to fry. But it is good for us, the information, for that standpoint of Yahuwah has always been about conversion. No matter what, he's been about conversion, because at the end of the day, all of us were born unto Adam, which is just mankind. Adam is the word for mankind. When he actually said, let us make man, he was really saying, let us make Adam. That was actually what they would have been saying, mankind. When you look at East, you're dealing with the male species. Mankind is dealing with all of mankind, actual species of human beings. I think we've seen it. Sometimes you'll see some of the versions we've seen where they say son of human being or something. I don't know if y'all remember that. Maybe I didn't catch that. Did anyone remember that? Where it say son of human? Sometimes, depending on the version, it's like, son of mankind. Son of Man. But at the end of the day, if you look at it, we were all born through Adam, right? Mankind. And he was saying how that's how death came unto all of us. So the only thing is, when Mashiach came to erase that, we are going to have to become Mashiach's seed, which means you're going to have to convert unto the Mashiach. That's why he said you to be born again. Because whatever you're born as, I'm no longer going to count that to you because you're going to be born again and your behavior what you change. I'm only going to count what I see and do from you. See, the thing is, when you hold to your lineage, don't run to Mashiach now. Don't say, hey, I'm with the Mashiach. No. He came from Yehuda. And he actually said, I chose Yehuda. He actually said, Yehuda's going to prevail amongst his enemies. Ain't no other tribe he said is going to prevail amongst the enemies. He said, all your Akim are going to come to you. They're going to come to you, Yehuda. So, and that's why Yahusha came through, is Yehuda. That's why in the 9th chapter we were just looking at, when he talked about how Yahushua came concerning the flesh, it was not talking about he came necessarily because of his flesh. It was saying he came through the actual lineage of Yehuda, saying he actually came through the flesh on that end, up through Yehuda. And so at the end of the day, you can't run and say, well, I want to be natural the whole time to come through the lineage, and then when it get on the scene, well, I'm with Yahusha now. You can't do it. At the end of the day, don't say, because here's the thing. Man, I'm going to go to it, and I'm going to get way off, and I don't want to do that with y'all, because I can prove it. I just don't got the time. I really don't. I do. Most time willing, next time I get a different slot, I'll do it. But it won't take long, seriously. It really won't. Just think about this. We all had to convert from being a sinner to a non-sinner. All of it had to be converted. His whole book is about conversion. It doesn't make no sense to say I'm going to hold you. Just like you could say, oh, man, I don't want to. Ooh, what? Hey, what time is it? No, we're good. We're good. Well, I get it. But like I said, y'all just make sure y'all convert from sinner to saint, as they say, Kadad. Make sure y'all living right, man. But that's what he's going to count. It's going to come to that. It's going to come down to that. That's why he said the promise was unto seed, not seeds as in many. Because it's actually the Mashiach. It's actually Yahushua. Offspring. Tribes is plural. Tribes is plural. That would be considered seeds. But at the end of the day, he said it came to the Mashiach. He said he was the actual seed he came to. The promise was actually to him. So that's why he said if you be Mashiach seed, then you be Abraham's seed. But in order to do that, you had to convert. Just like Yahushua, if you look at it, he had to become and operate as a Kohan. Give me Abari. This going to kind of, Abari chapter 7, 14 real quick. Abarim chapter 7, what they call Hebrews. Here's Abarim, what they call Hebrews chapter 7, verse 14. Go ahead.
For it is evident to all that our Adon has sprung out of Yehuda. He said it's evident. He said this. Think about it. It's one thing to say he sprung out of Yehuda. He said it's actually evident. How do we know it's evident? Any idea how would it be evident he sprung out of Yehuda? You got the genealogy. Right, exactly. We got a genealogy. It's evident. Like, we actually have the Mashiach's genealogy. You won't see Louis in there not one time. It's impossible to see it because it goes right to Yehuda. From his mom's genealogy and his dad's genealogy. He says evident, but the reason he's saying it, keep reading. From the Matah, of which Mashiach spoke nothing of him. Moshe spoke nothing of him concerning the Kahan. This is the writer saying he came from Yehuda as evident, and if you go back and look at the Torah, you would never see anywhere where it's talked about Yehuda dealing with the Kohan. He said it's evident. He said, but he's making a point to let you know somehow, some way, he's been accounted to be a Kohan. Now, I'm just trying to figure out if this ain't about conversion, Yahusha no way should be at all operate as a priest because he didn't come from Kohan. We have his genealogy. So what was about Yah to say, well, I tell you what, I'm not going to count that? Y'all, any suggestions? Does it make sense? I'm just curious. Does it make sense to say the law was dealt with Kohan? We all agree with that, right? It had to come from Luim, the Kohan, right? How in the world can Yahusha act like a Kohan then? Anybody? It's not I'm just curious. Shoulders, you're not allowed to answer. Chanel, I'm sorry. Apologize. Chris, you got one? Go ahead.
He came after order of Melchizedek.
But think about this too. But the law had stated nothing about Melchizedek as far as being Cohen. He said, I chose the tribe of Louis to do this. You know what I'm saying? But you're right, because this is that what this chapter is talking about from the standpoint of Yahuwah's looking, really, to be honest with you, Louis wasn't even formed when Melchizedek was on the scene. They already had a priest before Louis got on the scene. Just like Abraham was on the scene before Yasharal even came to play. It's amazing. Everyone wants to go back to Abraham. He wanted Yehuda or Yasharal. They weren't even on the scene yet. But everyone want to claim a tribe. So Abraham ain't getting in there. Exactly. Because Yahuwah has the, when you the creator, you do, man, listen, when you're a creator, and today, okay, let's do this. Oh, getting old. Daoud's great-great-grandma, I believe, was a what? Okay, she a Moabitess. All right, so if that being said, if we're going by the mother's genealogy, Daoud would be a what? And the Moabites shouldn't do what? They can't, not even, listen, give me that, what's it? Allah Ha-Dabarim 23. This is, man, I really not want to do this, believe me. Because I'd be here all day. I really would, so we're going to get off this real quick. I just want to make sure because I just ain't saying nothing. Is it 23, I believe? Try 23 and 1. I might be off on that. Keep going down. Yeah, go up. There we go. 23 and 3. Go ahead.
No Ammonite or Moabite shall enter into the assembly of Yahuwah. Mm-hmm. None of them, even to the 10th Tuladat, shall enter into the Kahal of Yahuwah alone.
Now, a lot of times, the way it's written, it can be written as you're thinking it's saying after the 10th generation it could get in. It's not saying that. It's saying not even the 10th generation will get in. That's why it goes on to say shall enter forever. It don't make sense the 10th generation and say forever after that. It's letting you know, it's kind of a way of saying like, listen, man, what Denver's about to do to Miami, they're not even going to win 8 games, let alone 3 games. You know what I'm saying? Hypothetically. So people may say, well, they're going to win after the 3rd game. And I'm not, let me use the other example. I got some real fighters. It's like saying Miami, listen, they're going to beat Denver, man. It ain't going to go 3 games. You know what I'm saying? So you could think, well, after 3 games, they'll start winning. No, I don't even know it's not even going to go there. You know what I'm saying? He don't know, not even the 10th generation will enter. How do I know this? Because it says forever, but keep going. Because it's going to hurt a lot of people out here. Let's go. A lot of doctrine.
Because they did not meet you with food and Ma'im on the Darak when you came out of Misraim, and because they hired against you Balaam the Ben of Beor from Pethor of Mesopotamia to Al-Ayu.
Yep. Keep going.
But Yahuwah your all was not willing to Shammah to Balaam, but Yahuwah your Elohim turned the Al-Ah into a Baraka for you, because Yahuwah your Elohim ahab you.
Yep. Keep going.
You shall never seek their shalom or their prosperity all your yamim alone.
That's going to be tight. Keep going.
You shall not detest and
now, hold on, before, you see everything they say about a Moabite, right? And yet Daoud's great-grandmother was a what?
No way.
And they're not supposed to get into the 10th generation. I'm just trying to figure this out. How's Daoud getting in this congregation? Because let me guess, it's going by the father's genealogy now. Because any other time it's mother's genealogy. Now all of a sudden, well, that's tight. And that must be the father's genealogy. So it can't count against them. Of course, we got to switch it up now. But let's see this real quick. What's the second? This is interesting too. Go ahead.
You shall not detest an Edomite.
Yep, you should. That's Esau. Go ahead. What they call Esau.
For he is your Ak.
Uh-huh.
You shall not detest an Misraim, because you were a stranger in his Aras.
Yep.
The Beni of the 3rd Tuladat, who are born to them, they may enter into the Kahal of Yahuwah.
I'm trying to figure this out. Esau is going to die and be burnt out forever, never going to get in. Somehow, Yahuwah said, don't hate them, and they can get in on the 3rd Tuladat. Don't say they done forever. So I'm trying to figure out all these Edomites, where they going. Esau, they wiped out forever. But my great, because now remember, you're Yehuda, right? We're Yehudi naturally, right? Your great-grandmother and Yahushua himself got Moabites. Moabites ain't supposed to be in it. Edomites are gone forever. Moabites get in for some odd reason. I'm just curious how this goes. I'm trying to figure out how Esau, because how this works, like I said before, you can be born to whatever you want to be born to. If Yahuwah says, I don't count it against you, I don't count it against you, which means you could be born Edomite or Moabite all you want to. If you should turn and say you're going to serve Yahuwah, you know what you got the luxury of? The man got to say, I don't got to count you as that. Whoever stays a Moabite, let them stay because they ain't getting in. Whoever stays, whatever, you're not getting in. But you chose to do what you do. Guess what? I don't got to count you like that. Because you're going to see, and like I say, I'm not even going to it, but there was a verse I get to, well, I don't want to get to it. There was a time where he told them to wipe out Moabites. In Nahum, the 13th chapter, they attach themselves to who? The 13th chapter of the book of Nahum, who they attach themselves to? Who they attach themselves to? Well, look it up, man. We'll pull it up, man. Y'all take me way out. Y'all take me way out of start. I got stuff I got to do, man. And you guys take me way out. Man, I got stuff I got to do. I think it's Nahum, the 13th chapter. I'm about to think about it. I think it's both Azra and Nahum. Okay, read that. This what they went to the law. This is good. We'll start there. Go ahead. Go ahead, read that. Because they went right back to the law. We just read this. Go ahead.
Verse 1.
Yep.
On that Yom they read from the scroll of Mushah in the hearing of the Yep. And there was found written in it that the Ammonite and the Moabite should not come into the Kahal of Elohim Alam.
Forever. It don't even say nothing about the 10th generation. I know it kind of, the way it reads in King James and sometimes in the verse, I understand why it sounds like he's saying, it's not saying, he's letting you know even the 10th generation won't get in. Letting you know, he's basically saying, I don't give a blank. They're not getting in. I don't care what generation it is. And here they told me it's forever. Go ahead.
Because they did not meet the Bani of Yasharal with Lakam and with Ma'im, but hired Balaam against them to all them. However, our all turned the all into a baraka.
Yeah, we just read it. Go ahead.
Now it came to pass, when they shama the Torah, they badal all foreigners from Yasharal. And before this, Eliashib, the Kahan, who sat over the chambers of the Beth of our all, who was related to Tobiah.
Keep coming.
And he had prepared a large chamber for him, where formerly they were giving the grain offerings and frankincense, the utensils and the tithes of grain, wine and oil, which was commanded to be given to Luim, the singers, and the gatekeepers, and the offerings of the Kahan, for the Kahan, Kohanim.
Drop down a little bit. Let me see. My time's going to fail me. Keep going. Did I already say when he talked about wiping them out? Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Let's see. Keep going. Keep going. Is it verse 14? Let me see. Go ahead. Appreciate it, Pastor. No, keep going. Is that what you're saying? It starts there? Keep going. Go down. I got to get to the point. I get what you're saying, Dex. Let me get to the point, though. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. It might be towards the bottom. I'm trying to think in my mind in the book, whereas I think it's towards the bottom. Keep going. He's talking about it. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. It should talk about what he said about them having to put away their wives. All right, here we go. There we go. In those days, go ahead. I know it's towards the bottom.
In those Yamim, I also saw that the Yahudim had married Ashah of Ashdod and Ammon and of Moab.
So what's the problem with that? Ain't no problem with it right now. It shouldn't be. Because we do know somebody married Moabite before, right? Again, this was Dawood's great, maybe third or fourth grandma. Somebody did it now. I mean, this shouldn't be no problem. What's wrong with marrying a Moabite? Go ahead.
And their Bani spoke half in the speech of Ashdod and could not able to speak the speech of Yehudi.
Okay.
But according to the speech of each Am.
Yep.
So I contended with them, and all them, and struck one of them Anashim, and plucked off their hair, and made them Shaba by Elohim. You shall not give your Banuth to their Bani, nor take their Banuth for your Bani, or for yourselves.
I'm just confused because I'm trying to figure who took root. What was they doing? What that man possibly thinking to take root for his wife? Because right here, Nakamiah is pissed about this. I mean, this man is about to smack somebody or lay hand with it. You know, he is pissed, and I ain't saying don't do it. I'm trying to figure out. I'm lost now because Nakamiah be like, there's a whole genealogy that we were good with a Malak serving Daoud. Did y'all know Shalimah? He had I don't know, wife. I don't know. She might have been from Ammonite, Rehoboam. Y'all do know his mother was an Ammonite. Another one you're not supposed to be dealing with on this. I'm just trying to figure out all this mixing right here. I'm trying to figure out, he's pissed. How did Daoud get away with it? And if Daoud was the father of Yahushua, how is he our Mashiach? How are we even sitting there looking like we need to be serving this man because you ain't even keeping the Torah? It's because it's real simple. It's not even complex, y'all.
That's right.
It's because these women
They didn't convert.
and they turned them to serve their gods. Ruth said, I will serve your God, your Elohim. He's my Elohim. You won't believe what Yahuwah decided to say. Guess what? She ain't a Moabite. I'll get the Moabites who don't convert, but as far as I'm concerned, she ain't one. This whole book's about conversion. I don't know how you can justify lineage. It won't ever happen. You can't even prove your own lineage. You got to draw maps up on a street corner and just pray it works. And convince some idiot on the street, and because they like maps. That makes sense. Come on. This whole book has always been about conversion. So at the end of the day, let me see. Yahuwah won't count your lineage against you. I'm trying to figure out how it will work spiritually because once we came out the womb, Daoud said, I was born in sin, and my mother conceived me. And then Daoud also wrote, Barak is the man who what? Huh? Bow. That's my man right there. He said he will not impute kata, which means I will not count your sins against you. You already did it. You were already born in it. You already had death upon you. Some way, somehow he does say, because I'm going to choose you, guess what I'm not going to count against you? I'm not going to count your sin. I could, but I'm not going to do it. I ain't going to count it against you. Guess what? If you was born on Barbados and you had damnation the rest of your life, I could count that against you. But if I'm going to save you, guess what? I'm not going to count it against you. It's always been about conversion. So with that being said, and honestly, we could go a whole lot of different ways. Y'all just maybe do some stuff that I really didn't want to do, and I could prove out a lot better. I really wouldn't make it better for you guys. I really would, and I apologize. My time with family, I kind of wanted to deal more so. Give me Yukonon chapter 20. Let me ask y'all something, man. At the end of the day, we got to come to believe in this stuff. I would be curious to know what is hindering you guys is really believing this. If anyone wants to be a volunteer. I'm not trying to put nobody on blast or nobody. I just really want to know, is there something that's hindering you guys from believing this? Everyone believes this, start to finish, I'm assuming? I mean, I'm not saying that, because I don't want it to come off as I'm trying to get you trapped up in saying, like, I don't believe. I'm saying, because actions, we'll commit certain actions because of it. I've been there when I made mistakes. There was not a strong belief of, it's kind of like, it's there, but it's kind of, maybe it ain't for me, or, whatever the case may be. But I don't know if we're in a situation where decisions are being made where it's kind of like we're not considering this no more. Does it feel like it's not valid? Are we feeling like, hey, man, who knows, man, this might not be wrong in the action I'm doing? Because sometimes you come into new information, we kind of take advantage of that and feel like, well, and like we joke around about multiple wives. We'll do that, you know what I'm saying? Some people may take that seriously and say, well, shoot, I mean, really, we don't know. We come to new information. We might be able to drink, do all types of stuff we don't know. Because it ain't sin, you know what I'm saying? I'm just curious, is there something we missing that, as a preaching core, is there something we missing to y'all? You feel like, hey, I'm just not really, it's something it's hindering me from believing this, really getting in and believing this. Because at the end of the day, if you're going to make it, you're going to have to really be wholeheartedly in this, and it would show. Because if you really believe there's some actions, behaviors that's probably not going to transpire or take place. Things happen, I get it. But at the end of the day, a lot of it comes back down to, I really may just kind of lack a certain belief on something. Anyone help me out? I ain't trying to be putting on the spot. Is there something where people say, man, honestly, I'm just not believing this, like or I just don't trust this? Is it a trust issue with this? Okay, I mean, I'm not right. I may be like, hey, I ain't talking to you, ain't my right. This could do, I don't know, who knows, man. I'm messing around. Let's keep, this is Yukonon chapter 20. Man, drop down to 20. What's 21 say? Keep going. I might be off on this one. Go to like the last couple of verses. What's the last couple of verses on this? you know what? Preacher made us throw them books, so I got to go buy a new book because that's how I was good. I like to read a book. Mm-hmm. I can't do the screen stuff. Also, what version you guys? I'm not going to get that because he cut that down. I need to find a version to get. Can I get that? Can I see that real quick? That man got that book said, hey, what's it? Yeah, just like the James version. But yeah, because I got to read, so I can't do this computer screen stuff, man. But yeah, I want to see what not to get. Okay, appreciate it. Now, when I walk with a book, don't ask me what version it is. Just know I need to see it. But this is the last verse, 20. Go up to 30. 30. Go to 30 real quick. I just started to make sure I didn't get off topic. This is what I wanted to. Go ahead. Read that, please.
Behold, Yahushua also performed many other acts in the of his Talmudim that were not katab in this scroll. Yet these were katab so that you would amon that Yahushua is the Mashiach, the Ben of Elohim, and so that in your amanah you would have Kai in his Shem.
See, it's a lot of stuff he did that wasn't written. There's a lot of stuff people got. There's other books out there. There's other stuff, and I'm not doubting none of that. All I want to know is, at the end of the day, there's so much stuff this man did, and I think it's the 21st chapter where he talked about it wouldn't even fit. He said the rocks itself couldn't fit it. The man did so much, he let him know, I couldn't even fit this in his book. And there's so much other stuff in here that's written, but he's like, but what Yahuwah ordained for us to see and get to actually get our hands on, it's like he said, this was written and given to us that we could believe and be saved. It don't make sense for you to set and elect the people. When you talk about an election, you have no choice in that. Think about it. If I run for mayor or president, all I can do is campaign to get your vote. I cannot control your vote unless there's some shady stuff going to it. You know what I'm saying? But even then, I'm campaigning, whether it be dirty or crooked, to get you to vote, however it may be. But I'm dependent on you guys are going to vote for me. So when Yahuwah talks about an election, that's literally what it is, an election. It's a choice made by him. So we can run and say, man, it says choose ye this day. All this, I can assure you ain't choose nothing you wouldn't put your mind to. You can say, well, it say repent. I can assure you it wasn't for you if you ain't supposed to repent. The whole thing is coming down to a choice. Mankind don't like to accept that because we like to be in control. We want to feel like, man, I did that. I did this. If that be the case, one thing should never come out your mouth. Thank Yah for the mind he gave me. Shouldn't come out your mouth. Because you chose that. It wasn't nothing to do with the mind he gave you. You did it. Don't say thank Yah for the mind he gave you and say, yeah, I did that. I did. Well, so is it the mind he gave you or is it not? Don't say it. It's kind of contradictory. For me, it is. I couldn't say it. You don't ever hear me say, I did this and come out thank Yah for the mind he gave. I couldn't say it. Because I believe at the end of the day, it's going to come down to, like you said, it's an election. All I can do is say, man, listen, I really need you. Man, vote for me, man. What I need? What type of issue you need? You know what? I know what you like. You like that knowledge. What would you like to talk more about? If I am president, we would talk about knowledge every day. You know what I'm saying? Now you know what he looks at? Hey, I like it. So when you campaign for Mr. Yahuwah, you're living a lifestyle like, man, I need you to like me. I need you, hey, I'm an Edomite, I'm a Moabite, whatever the case may be, I'm Yehuda, I'm Yahshua, whatever you want to call me, man, listen, I need you to elect me. But it comes down, like I said, part of our campaign is the man looking and saying, well, hey, if I'm president, I need you to believe what's written here. So I guess I just kind of look at, why I asked, and I know people may not want to come on and say stuff, but whatever the situation is, you searching for other books, or you just feel like, man, it's a trust issue. I don't know if these people gave us and didn't give us, whatever the case may be. At some point, there's going to be a trust in Yahuwah of, if I ordain you salvation, I can assure you I gave you everything you needed to know. What's out there is out there, but I can assure you what you need to know if you're going to be saved, I'm going to give it to you. But can you just do this for me? Can you just stick with, listen, we got perfect. We can't even, out of the 613 laws, I think that's what they say there is. I never even counted them myself. I just hear people say it. I don't know if it's the laws or not. But let's look at this, the so-called 10 Commandments. People in general have a hard time observing 10 Commandments, let alone 613 laws, let alone these people got books in they don't want us to know about. So I'm just trying to figure out where we're going to go. What are we going to do? Same thing I say about debating. I can debate all up and down, and people say, man, you can do this and that. We can argue this and that. What is it going to do? At the end of the day, all I'm going to do is I'm smarter, you're smarter. And the truth be told, I'm not going to, if we ain't honest, I ain't budging, you ain't budging. We just, man, he don't know nothing. He don't know anything. You just walk off. I'll debate you tomorrow, 7:30 p.m. Maybe let's debate about your doctrine. Knowing I ain't going to change what I believe anyways. But that's what I'm saying. So it's like, so we can look and search and do a whole lot of stuff. How about at the get-go, let's say, you know what, let me find out what my problem is and let's make some changes. And let's see what Yahuwah give to us. Give me, but he said this stuff was written that you should believe. They came down, give me Oriah chapter 24 real quick. Where we at on time there, Tim, if you don't mind me? My clock is behind. It's 7:10 right now, right? 7:10, okay. What preacher you go by, 8:30? 8 o'clock? Okay. I'll make sure I got to see what cut some time down. I'm not trying to keep up with you, so I just want to make sure. Just do it, just talk to bro, and I thought I could fix them. Give me 25. I think you're smart. Actually, or you got chapter 20, 24? Give me about, start about verse 15 real quick. Let me see if verse 15 start. I want to hear when he got with them. All right, here we go, right here. Oh, yeah, 24. Go ahead.
Came to pass that they were speaking and arguing together. Behold, Yahushua himself approached and halakhed with them. But their own were blocked, that they did not recognize him. He said to them, what are these dabarim that you are exchanging with each other as you are halakhed together on the road? They stopped in their pani, dejected.
Yep.
One of them, whose Shem was Cleophas, answered, he said to him, are you the only one residing in Jerusalem that does not know what have happened within these Yamim? He said to them, what is it? And they told him the incident of Yahushua the Nazri, who was a Nabi, mighty in works and in speech, in presence of the Elohim and in presence of all the But our Rosh Kohanim and our Zakanim arrested him for the sentence of a moot and crucified him.
Yep.
We have hoped that he would ultimately redeem Yasharal. But besides all this, today it has been 3 Yamim since these things happened. But the Nashim, too, from among us have alarmed us in that they rose early to go to the Kubar in the morning.
Yep.
But they did not find his basar. Then they came and reported that they also saw a kazum of Malaki, saying that he was Kai. Some of the Anashim with us went to the Kubar and found it just as the Nashim had said, and they did not see him. He said to them, alas, you who lack knowledge and slow of lob to Aman in all that the Nabaim have spoken. Was it not necessary for the Mashiach to bear all these things and to be brought into his kabul? Then he began with Mushah and with all the Nabaim and explained to them all the Ketubim that spoke about him. They came near the village to where they were going there, and he set his pani as if he were going on his darag. But they urged him, saying, stay with us for the time of evening. And the Yum had stretched on, so he entered the Beth to stay with them.
Yep.
And it came to pass, when he reclined with them, he took the lakam, broke it, and he gave it to them.
Yep.
Then their were opened, and they recognized him, but he turned aside and passed from their
Yep.
They said to one another, where were your lob? Were our lobs not burning within us as he spoke to us on the road and interpreted the Ketubim to us?
That's good. And then you'll see in the 45th verse, he went on to expound even more. right? Get open understanding. Why that's important? Because it's radiation. You know what that is? Y'all hear that, or is that just me? All right. Sorry about that. I got that magnetic shield on me. But looking at seeing that at the end of the day, after everything they saw, they still didn't quite believe yet until he did what? Is somebody playing a Excite Bike? Y'all know what Excite Bike sounds like? The crowd cheer. That's all right. They're working against me. I won't let them stop me. Give me Oriah. I'll show you something. Oriah chapter 16. Man, I can't remember the verse on that either. Goodness. Try see if it's about 20. Let's hear 20 say. There we go. Yeah, I'm on the money. That's what I want. So y'all think that's what I want. You would not know if that's what I wanted or not. Go ahead. When I say that, I could just be making it up. Just next time I got on the money. We'll make it work, right? Keep going. Go ahead and read this. Oriah chapter 16, verse 20. Go ahead.
And a poor Ish named Shem Lazar was laid at the opening of his door of his bed. He was full of blisters.
Yep.
He craved to be satisfied from the bits that fell from the rich Ish table. The dogs would even come and lick his blisters.
Yep.
And it came to pass when the poor Ish moot and the Malachi carried him to Abraham's lap.
Yep.
The rich Ish also moot and was buried.
Yep. We talk about it was a rich man. I think it was talking about a little before that. And I was talking about Lazarus after that. Go ahead.
He was in Sheol, and his pain was very great.
Yep.
He lifted up his and saw Abraham at a distance, and
I don't know how these folks teach that there's nothing happening when you die either. I mean, just curious. I mean, all this stuff, man, we don't know. That's Greek doctrine, all this stuff. He said he was in Sheol and was in pain very great. I don't know why these people think there's not going to be an afterlife. I just don't get it. Where everyone jumped to. See, that's that doctrine. I want to do what I want to do. You don't got to pay for that stuff. It's easy to do that stuff. That's why people jump to lineage. I can do what I want to do. I'm still saved because I got the lineage. It ain't no hell. Ain't no whatever you want to call it. Like Lee said, whatever you want to call it. Ain't none of that. No afterlife because I can do what I want to do. I don't get what's the point. It's right here. I don't know what they were looking at because it's new, quote unquote, New Testament. Yeah, Yeshayahu, the 66th chapter, said the same thing. He said the fire was not going to be quenched. This old, quote unquote, Testament. He said it was not going to be quenched. I don't know. I just don't get. If people play word games, to be honest with you, it's all wordplay. Like Sheol, because see, hell is this, and I get it. What we say hell, we don't use hell for what again? It's Greek terminology. Can we look up hell etymology real quick? I'm just curious. Just curious. I mean, so we can see. I'm going to show you the word, like a lot of these folks run out here and use the word play. It's real simple. Because at the end of the day, people just ain't honest. That's why I asked you guys, honestly, because I want all of us to be honest with ourselves. Because you're not going to really make a change until you can honestly address what your self-issue is. And if we can understand that, that's something we can actually work on. Because we can go debate, we can go fight, we can go do all types of stuff we want to do with folks. And at the end of the day, if everyone's left behind, believe what they want to believe, or find what they want to find, no one wins on that matter. I tell people all the time, at the end of the day, if what you believe is right, you should stand on it. And when judgment comes, that's when we're all going to find out what's what. You can do me wrong, whatever you want to do. At the end of the day, when judgment day comes, we're going to find out who's right or wrong. If what I'm saying is right, if what we teach, that's when we're going to find out. Because then we can bicker and go back and forth all day about doctrine, however you want to do it. Slice it 2-3 different ways, however you want to do it. But at the end of the day, we're never really going to come down to the nitty-gritty to that judgment that comes. And that's what's going to be a big, man, I should have listened. Or, man, I was wrong and I shouldn't. And that's going to be the wrong time to find out you ain't you who was elected. See, it's a wrong time, man. The man give us opportunities. Don't throw your campaign away, as they say. Let's say hell, go ahead. This says old, also hell, Old English, netherworld, abode of the dead, infernal regions, place of torment for the wicked after death. Proto-Germanic, it should say Greek. From the Germanic, okay, Germanic, not Greek. I don't know how to pronounce that. The underworld. Also Old Frisian, hell, Old Saxon, Dutch, Old Norse, German, Gothic. Literally concealed place. Where we see Greek at? I'm just curious. Listen, I'm not vouching to use hell. I just want to just say because we use Sheol. I'm not just saying where we see Greek at. Because the Greeks call themselves Hellenese. Is that where we got it from? I'm not. This is not. Y'all ain't gonna be scared. I'm just asking. I want to just show you how a lot of these folks run and go. And see, y'all believe afterlife or burning hell. That's that Greek stuff. Just curious. Where does it say it's Greek at? What you can't do is because a word in another language sounds like a word in this language, give it the same meaning. If they call themselves Hellenese, that's in their language. That's how they pronounce what they call themselves. That don't mean when the English word uses hell, see, that's Greek because the Hellenese call themselves Hellenese. So what we're going to do when a group says, you know what, and these are Satan worship, we're going to start calling ourselves Yah. We're going to stop using Yah now? Because, see, that's what the Satanists do. They call it Yah. So we're going to stop using it, right? All these folks come, listen, all this stuff, if Yahuwah is first on the scene, what does that mean everyone got their stuff from? Old Norse. The Norse get it from Proto-German. This is the thing too, learning how to read this too. In school, and they're saying they will teach you how to actually properly read dictionaries and certain. It's something you just don't pop open to read. It's kind of like the book almost read. We assume you just pick up and start reading stuff. It's not necessarily written the way you're thinking it's written. A lot of times, just like we pop open that book and assume you can read from Genesis, what they call, all the way that they call Revelation, think, well, I understand it. And it's not going to be done like that in a sense. Same thing that comes is when we can look up a word, we can say, well, look, here go the word, and it's in an adjective form, and it can be used as a noun. But the reason we might say, well, shoot, but that don't make sense to say that because it's being used as an adjective. You have to read the dictionary and say, okay, well, since it's being used as a noun, this is how it actually be properly used as a noun, not as an adjective. And that comes within the context of how it's being written. But if you look at Old Norse, they're saying they got it from the Proto-Germanic, which is, guess what? That's where English said they got it from. The difference is the Norse decided to say, even though it comes from Proto-Germanic, the one who covers up or hides something, they decided to say, we are going to name a god or whatever they did. I don't know who Loki's daughter is, Rudolph the Evil Dead, whatever, based on their mythology. They got it from another language and said, we are going to apply this to one of our gods. But the concept of burning forever, the concept, and I ain't saying we got to use it, I'm just using it, just give you an example of how these people will play to say, we don't got to do this because it ain't in there. You know what I'm saying? Just keep it in context. The concept itself, concealed place, a place of torment, already existed. It was already there before these folks took and said, I'm going to make a god of it. There's a thing called personify. Have you ever heard the word personify? Look up, give me a definition of personify real quick. Just real quick so I ain't just talking. Who knows what personify means real quick? Give me Austin. I don't want to use Austin. Give me Ian. That is brilliant. Yes. Give me, if you don't mind, give me, and I say this ain't right, I just like to use Merriam-Webster's dictionary. If you put them in the dictionary, they say this ain't right. It's just me personally, what I like. So. To conceive or represent as a person or as having human qualities or powers. The embodiment of personification to incarnate. Keep going down. Let's look at example sentences. Right there. That's what I wanted to see. Who is known for personifying more than anybody is the Greeks. That's why this is an example sentence, and typically use an example, they're going to use something that's a little bit more generalized people have knowledge of. The ancient Greeks personified the forces of nature as gods and goddesses, which means these things already existed. I decided to say, you know what? I'm going to create a god out of this. For example, let's look up the etymology of Sheol. Is anybody familiar with Hades? Because that's what the Greeks use, right? What is Hades? No women answering. Go ahead, Ian, you're on the roll. Greek god of death. There we go. Let's see. Pull up, what did I say? Pull up Sheol and etymology. Place of departed Ruach, 1590s. Interesting. From Abari, literally the underworld, Hades. So the Abari got it from the Greeks? Because this is saying it's the etymology. So we shouldn't use Sheol no more. Because it says it's actually Hades. And Hades is not just a place. See, in Greek mythology, Hades actually was a place. It's the quote-unquote place of torment. But you ain't going to believe what they did. There's a god of that place. And we're going to call the god Hades. It's called personification. That's like saying, I'm not going to use the word wind no more. You want to know why? Because the Greeks said, you know what, that stuff that blow, I'm going to call it the God, let's call it wind. Because you know what, the wind blows. So now the concept's already there. It already existed. So we shouldn't be using shit based on this now. Because there's a lot of stuff that, like I said, people will say we shouldn't be using at the end of the day because the etymology, where this stuff comes from. Now this says it comes from the underworld, Hades. So somebody's lying. When I say that, like either etymology is lying, because me personally, I find hard to believe that Sheol came from Hades if Sheol was first. This is amazing. We don't use church no more. Pull up synagogue etymology. Because church is what? Place of pagan worship. Let's just see what a synagogue is. Y'all good with that? We're going to use Abari. Synagogue, mosque, temple, pagan temple. Take the sign down. Right? We're taking the sign down, right? You're going too fast. You're missing the point. I mean, I'm just trying to say, so all this, man, we running this thing, I don't get, there's always been a concept of punishment. There's always been a concept of you're going to be, it makes no sense to say we know that, of course we've been through that. But at the end of the day, we can use the word again. I'm saying we, but see, ain't no hell. Hell's Greek anyway. It ain't in there. Don't say about Greek. They just mix up Hellenese with the word. Man, that's Greek. That's all Greek doctrine. Ain't no one burning forever. I got you. So let's use Sheol. See, I use Sheol. I got you, no problem. But Sheol go right back to Hades anyways. So either way, Yahuwah got something for. However you want to look at it, Yahuwah has a place. When you disobey and he did not choose you, you are going to be there. It don't make sense to say I'm going to give you Olam Kayid. How much does man come back saying, I'm going to give you everlasting Kayid, life, forever and ever. I'm going to give this to you. But when you, I'm going to be honest with you, if dying is the worst, listen, I got a whole run you're going to experience. Because when you're dead, I'm going to be honest with you, you're unconscious. It's like being asleep. You don't feel nothing. You don't hear it. You're unconscious. I get to be unconscious forever. I can go out and go have a great time, do whatever I want to do in this world, live in St. Martin, do what I want to do. That's not a sin. But my point is, I can do a whole time. And you mean tell me my punishment is when I die? Heck, I could take my own life at this point when things get tough. Man, listen. You know why people kill themselves? They think that's where it ends at. They look at, this is the end of my pain. This is the end of my, I don't want to go through this no more. Life stops here. That's why they kill. That's why people literally kill themselves. I don't want to go through this pressure no more. So I'm trying to figure out what's the punishment. What are we serving for? Man, you're just doing it strict out of love. Man, stop it. Like I said, I know stuff. This is what you have to understand. When you look at a language, oh man, all it is sounds. It's communication. Let me. So I say that people play the word games. Look, I make a word right now. Say, man, Eric is a jabba-dabba. Nobody knows what that is. So it has exactly. Now all he's gonna be doing in his mind is saying, what does that mean? Trying to figure out the context of it. Is it good or bad? All he knows is he heard a sound. And believe it or not, it's not even really a distinct sound because it's a sound he hasn't heard before. I just made it up. Because each letter has a sound. Each character has a sound to it, right? Then when you put them letters or characters together, what does it do? It creates a word, right? And that word creates a sound, right, when them letters are together. Now, that sound still isn't necessarily distinct because you want to know why? It has no definition to it, which means it's not even distinct. Now, if I say Eric, what job that means a-hole. Now he looks at, all right, now we have a problem. Because now I heard something, it's distinct sound. Right? This is how it works. Just like we talk about the Torah, that's why I kind of, give me Bamar the 10th chapter. Just like you talk about when they blow the Torah, when Shaul talked about it. He said we have a distinct sound because there has to be something attached to this to give it a meaning. Just like when they blow that Torah, there has to be something there that says, guess what? We move at this time, we move it because there's a sound that goes with it, and it ain't just so much as the sound, it's the direction it gives me, it's the meaning we put behind this. So every word we look at, you look and say, okay, words are words, but they're really not until you give it a definition. I can go ahead and just say a bunch of stuff. That's why when they say speaking in tongues, there had to be a what? Because if I speak to another language, guess what? You don't know nothing I'm saying until someone can say, listen, this is actually what he's saying. And guess what an interpreter does? They're going to show it to you in your language and say, well, this is what he said right here. He spoke in his language, and this is what he said in your language is how it would sound right here. Isn't that rocket science? Go ahead. I'm about to wrap this up real quick, y'all. Go ahead.
Verse 1?
Yeah.
Yahuwah spoke to Moshe, saying, make yourself two teruah of silver and hammered work. You shall make them, and they shall be to you for the calling of the Adah and for having the camps set out.
Yep.
And when they blow with them, all the Adah shall gather themselves to you at the doorway of the tent of appointment.
Uh-huh.
Yet, if they blow with one, the leaders and the heads of thousands of Yasharal shall assemble before you. But when you blow an alarm, the camps that are pitched on the Kadim side shall journey. When you blow an alarm the second time, the camps that are pitched on the south side shall journey. An alarm is to be blown for their journey. When the assembly is gathered together, you shall blow, but you not blow an alarm.
I want you to just listen. Y'all don't just hear them. Pay attention. Go ahead. A lot of times when they read it, man, don't let your mind drift off. Just pay attention to what Yahuwah is saying, because it's from Yahuwah. Pay attention to what he's saying. Go ahead.
The Bani of Aharun, the Kahan, shall blow the teruah, and they shall be to you for a perpetual statute throughout your Tuledah.
Take the time to verse yourself with this stuff. I know we've read this before, we heard it, but y'all take the time to actually verse this stuff, man. Try to really put it in your life and remember it. Don't just go through the motions of what he's reading, he'll make his point. Actually verse yourself with this stuff, man. We drive and hustle and be successful at everything but this for some reason. And that's part of life, man. We want to drive and hustle, be great, the next great hooper, the next great trader, whatever the case may be, the next great actor. People who do are great at what they do, they put time and effort in that. And I'm not saying it's the right thing to do for the stuff they do, but you look at people who are great at what they do, they make sacrifices other people do not make, whether it be blood sacrifice, whatever, or if someone said, man, I just put the time in. They're great at what they do. We'll go and hustle and try to be great at making money, whatever the case, and it's not a sin. I'm not saying this, but do y'all ever really say, you know what, I really want to be great at salvation? Y'all really say, man, like when y'all sit down and don't just go with Justin gonna make his point. That's true. But at the end of the day, this should be stuff you say, you know what, I really want to be heard. We heard this so many times, we darn near to be able to quote it. And there's not a sin if you can't quote it. I'm just saying, but this ought to be something you ought to be versed in. Go ahead. I'm sorry, side note, go ahead.
When you go to war in your arats against the adversary who attacks you, then you shall sound an alarm with the teruah, that you may be zakar before Yahuwah, your all, and be saved from your enemies. Also in the yom of your gladness and in your appointed muhad, and on the beginning of your yarik, you shall blow the teruah over your burnt offerings and over the zabak of your peace offerings, and they shall be as a reminder of you before your all. I am Yahuwah, your all. And it came to pass in the second Shana, in the second yarik, on the 20th of the yarik, the cloud was lifted from over the tabernacle of testimony. And the Bani of Yasharal set out on their journey from Bamidbar of Sinai. Then the cloud settled down in Bamidbar of Paran. So they departed first according to the commandment of Yahuwah by the hand of Moshe.
Listen to this now. Go ahead.
The standard of the camp of the Bani of Yehuda, according to their armies, set out first, with Nakshan, the being of Aminadab, over its army. See. And Nethanel, the being of Sawur, over the tribal army of the Bani of Yisachar. And Eliab, the being of Chilion, over the tribal army of the Bani of Zebulun. Then the tabernacle was taken down, and the Bani of Gershon and the Bani of Merari, who were carrying the tabernacle, set out. Next, the standard of the camp of Reuben, according to their armies, set out with Elishur, the being of Sideur, over its army. And Shalumiyal, the being of
I'm sorry, Chris, but we got to do it.
Sharish Hadiah, over the tribal army of the Bani of Simeon. And Eliasapha, the being of Dual, was over the tribal army of the Bani of Gad. Then the Kehathites set out carrying the Kodesh objects, and the tabernacle was set up before their arrival.
Keep going.
Next, the standard of the camp of the Bani of Ephraim, according to their armies, was set out with Elishama, the ben of Amihud, over its army.
Ooh, my boy. Listen, I personally made sure Big Lee didn't have to read all this. Keep going. That's my boy.
And Gamaliel, the ben of
How many verses are in here? How many verses down there? How many verses we got in this book? There's 36 verses? Where you at, Chris? You got about 36, 13? Is that 13 more you got to read?
Let's get it.
Quick now, I stopped. Are you guys picking up a pattern here? When I say that, of what's going on?
Yeah.
Are you guys just shaking your head? Because what I'm saying is because there was a sound, a trumpet that was blown, and he gave you distinctions. If you notice, these people left at different times in the camp.
That's right.
They were waiting on their call.
That's right.
Understanding, being able to say, you know what, understanding when I get it's my time to go. You can't understand unless it has that distinct sound. I should say it was a distinct sound. So we're waiting on a distinct sound. So when you look at a word, every word has a distinct, when it has a definition, it becomes, all words are sounds. They just don't sound, we think it sounds someone, who made that sound? I'm making sounds, it's just distinct. That's why I don't come off as a quote unquote wild sound. It's because you're processing what he's saying, what them words means. I'm understanding what he's saying. These all have distinctions to them. You get what I'm saying? So when you look at times with words and different things like that, everything has a distinction to it, which is why a lot of these folks can play the games of, well, you know, y'all agree because y'all believe in hell. So y'all ain't, we false out because we believe in hell, right? So we say, well, we'll say Sheol. If we don't, however you want to look at it, we'll say Sheol. But here, you ain't going to believe it. The concept of hell and the concept of Sheol are going to deal with what? So when you hear the word hell and you hear the word Sheol, you ain't going to believe what y'all hear. Two different sounds, but y'all hear the same distinct sound of that's a place of torment. You're going to get burned no matter which way you go. So we can play the semantic game and the word game. These folks want to run out and do and say, man, y'all ain't no y'all church. However you want to split it. End of the day, when you heard a church, you thought a place people come to hear the bar and do service. Just like when you heard singing, ain't nothing changed. You say, you know what? I come here to hear service. I get to the bar. However which way you want to split it. Because come judgment day, this stuff ain't flying with Yahuwah. I'm just being up front. There's not flying with Yahuwah. There's not going to be no, I got my paperwork, or I got some books to go with this. That's Greek bus, this stuff, all that. It's not flying with Yahuwah. People say, so what did you understand hell to be? A place of torment forever. And so you thought because they came up with a Greek word, it didn't exist? Yahuwah, listen, nobody, including myself, was going to get Yahuwah's word except he got this stuff in English because he already knew these people, when they get in the land under their oppressors, they're going to be speaking a language of what? That you don't speak. There was no way you're going to get it until you got it and said, this is how you're going to get it. I understand we can say, I don't trust it because guess what? Some white people wrote it and they don't believe it. They're Baptist or Presbyterian. I get it. I understand it. Not a problem. Here's the thing. If anyone should have believed, it should have been Pharaoh. Saw with his own eyes everything that happened. Somehow came up with the greatest idea of, man, let's go get them MFers. We shouldn't have left in the first place. You just lost all your firstborn. Why would this man not believe? It ain't hard for me to believe that some white man, Methodist Presbyterian, decided to do a study and say, you know what? I'm writing all of this. I still don't believe it. I'll still be a Baptist for the benefit of those who are going to be saved. Pharaoh wanted to repent. The thing that held Pharaoh back was the stuff you got to show me, my magicians can do it, so I'm not moved by it. Once he started seeing stuff like, hey, they can't do that. Hey, tell you who I repent. Tell him I'm sorry. Applaud for me. The only problem was, guess what? He didn't have a choice in to say so. Let me guess. Pharaoh didn't have a choice, but we got the choice, right? Because now when Judgment Day, Pharaoh got to say, hold on now, time out. You said you hard in my life. I wanted to change you and let me do it. How these folks get up and say, yeah, I told you, I did this. I repented. I stopped doing what I was supposed to do. Yahuwah, I believe, because at the end of the day, if it's of you, I don't know what you need Yahuwah for anyways. It was an election. Guess when he get voted? Pharaoh. I already said from predestined, listen, I'm going to make an example out of you. Forefathers that came before this, We're destined to be what? Examples. We got everything to be grateful for. I never got a chance to finish. I kind of kept going. Give me finish the 16, so I'm wrapping y'all up right now. I'm sorry for holding y'all. I really am. I'm about to wrap y'all up. It ain't 8 o'clock yet. Give me just a little more time. I got 13 minutes. Josh, be my lookout, brother. That big bad man come out that office, let me know. I'm about to wrap y'all up. I didn't get a chance to finish it. Go ahead. We got the shield. We went to a different spot. Go ahead.
You want 23?
Yeah, you finish up. We'll keep going. I'm sorry. Well, we already finished the 23? Yeah, we finished it up.
I think so.
I got off what he talked about, because, go ahead.
He sighed out and said, Abi Abraham be Canaan to me. Please send Lazarus so that he may dip the tip of his finger in my aim and cool off my tongue, for I am in agony in this flame.
Yep, keep going.
But Abraham said, my Ben, the car that you took your tube in your kai, and Lazar took what was bad, what was Rosha. Now he is comforted, and you are in agony.
Yo, I just lost. This man, he's in agony, and he wants out. Go ahead.
Not only that, but there is a great valley separating between us and you, so that anyone who wants to pass from here to you are not able to cross it.
So you're in a place that's different from me. You're in agony, and Lazarus isn't. And he's being comforted. Just crazy. I'm just silly to believe that's going to happen in judgment. Go ahead.
Nor can anyone cross from there to us.
Mm-hmm.
He said, if that is the case, I ask of you to shalak him to my Abba Bet.
Now, you know what? I at least appreciate that, because he had a concern from people. A lot of these folks run off, they do because they don't have responsibility to people. They're lone gunners, as they say. And people like being lone gunners. You know why? Because I ain't responsible to nobody. I can dib and dab when I want to. I can be cool with you. But like Jahi was in the world. Jahi, I always joke with him. He didn't have really no close friends because he just liked being himself a little bit. You know, so he kind of like that kind of, you know, hey, if one of his best friends would come to hang out, like, nah, I don't really feel like hanging out right now. You know what I'm saying? But when I came up, if your best friend want to hang out, even if you feel like hanging out, it's just, well, you know, come on over, man. You know what I'm saying? I don't feel like being bothered, but this is how we roll, you know. But a lot of people, they don't want the responsibility. They only care about themselves. They don't have people they got to worry about. They got themselves to worry about. So I can believe anything I want to believe. I can, just like people can criticize when them guys read, you know, it sounds like, man, they messed up on the word, right? It sounds good because you're sitting there and you ain't got no pressure on you. When you pick that up with pressure on you, it's a whole different ball game. When you got people you got to concern yourself with, different ball game. Now all of a sudden, I just can't pick and choose what I want to believe up and up out of here anytime I want to. Cowards. Go ahead.
For I have 5 Akim. Let him testify to them, lest they shall also come to this Malkum of suffering.
Yep.
Abraham said, they have Mushah and the Nabaim, let them Shama to them.
Yep.
He said, not so, Abraham Abi, but if one of the Moot comes to them, then they shall repent.
Yep.
He said to him, if they shall not Shama to Mushah and the Nabaim, they shall not Aman, even if one coon from the Moot.
You know what's amazing? Y'all picking up on this? These men saw him in the way and did what? When they saw him in Ariana 24th chapter. It took him, as much as he appeared to them, showed them, and they touched him, he still had to go back and teach them what? Abraham just said, there's no way you could believe. I don't care if he rose from the dead. This ain't the first time. Think about this. There is actual evidence of people going to the hospital, their heartbeat stops. And actually, they were actually dead. Sometimes they say, I don't know how he came, we hit him with this and that, I don't know what them things are called, whatever. But there's a situation saying you were actually dead and you came back. You know what I'm saying? Why that's important? Because you can see Yahushua walking down the street, you can see people raised from the dead, and people still won't believe there's an Elohim or a creator. He said, you have to believe Moshe and the Nabah, which is why even after resurrection, he still had to come teach them and show them this is how the law and the Torah work. Despite them seeing him, there was not 100% belief yet. Most would say, man, listen, like they said, amazingly, it was after he taught them, they said, did our lives not burn within us? They didn't say when they saw him, man, I knew, man, I started burning right then and there. He had to teach them because Abraham already said, I don't care what you do. You can bring a man back from the dead all you want to. They will not believe except what? They've been taught, you got to believe this. That's the only way you can get it. That's why he had to teach them and say, hey, this is how this goes. You will have to understand this is how this goes. Because I can assure you, if you're only going off, you see me right here and now, guess what? That will wear off. Because it ain't going to be the first time. Not only that, if you actually think about it, what did they think when they saw him? He was a what? Nope. Now a trick question. I know there's a lot of answers for this. What do they think? They thought he was a ruach. They thought he was a ruach, which means I still don't believe you got up. You're a spirit. You're a ruach. Because I think it's 1 Samuel 29 or 28 when they summons the ruach of Shemuel up. This ain't nothing new. You ain't resurrected. They didn't count Shemuel. Shemuel and resurrected from the dead. They're like, you're a ruach. When they saw Yahusha, they thought the same thing. You're a ruach. He told him, he said, a ruach don't have flesh and blood like I got. Or flesh and bones. I'm close enough. Flesh and bones. He let them know, I'm not a ruach. I actually came back from the dead. Which they had to get and say, okay, guess what? Here's how this goes. So I can actually believe. Because Abraham just said, this is what you have to believe. I don't care if a man gets up, however you want to spin it. Except you believe Moshe and the Nabah, you don't believe. You're not going to believe. People come back from the, I say all the time, I say all the time. That's a big, but people have done it. You know what I'm saying? So people were being raised from the dead in his time. They still believe he's Mashiach. This man's raising the dead. He told me, said, go tell him the dead are raised. Why didn't you believe him? Because they didn't understand Moshe and the Nabah. That's why they didn't believe him. Yucatan 14, I'll wrap you up right here. Yucatan chapter 14. See if that's verse 1, I think it is. Oh, boy. Make it first 1, and I'll be out of here. I'll get shot for team 1. I'll just, we ain't got to get that. Just give me, I'll just write it up there for credit. So when people watch it, like, oh, he called that too? Okay. Breezy only be in this front. Go ahead. Yucatan chapter 14, verse 1. We'll wrap it up. Come on.
Do not let your law be troubled. Yep. Aman and Elohim, and Aman and me as well.
And we learn how you got to believe in them. Go ahead.
In Abi, Beth are many dwelling places.
Yep.
If it were not so, I would have told you.
Yep.
Behold, I go to prepare a Malcolm for you.
Yeah.
And it came to pass, if I go and prepare a Malcolm for you, I shall surely return and take you to me, so that you shall also be where I am there. Mm-hmm. You know where I am going, and you know the Durant.
Because he taught him. He let him know, I'm teaching you how to get there. Go ahead.
Tomah said to him, my Adon, we do not know where you are going.
Of course, they weren't paying attention. Like, hey, man, it was hidden from him. He said, I told him, this is like he said, he told him he's going to be crucified, and he's going to raise again the third day. And Cub had a bright idea to say, no, far be it from you. It happened, and they still couldn't understand it. Should have been, for us reading it, it's plain as day. But think about this, the Tula that comes after us, what would they say when our book is written? I plan on writing some letters. But what would they say when our book is written? They'll be like, man, how they didn't see that? Because you know what they're going to have the benefit of? Seeing the whole story. That's what that's what I'm saying. This is a whole nother monster, they say. Go ahead.
How could we know the Durant? Mm-hmm. Yahushua said to him, I am the Durant, the Amat, and the Kai. No one shall come to the Abba except by me.
Got to come through him. Did we catch it? We were talking about the conversion. All right. Well, if y'all paid attention in Bamidbar, the 10th chapter, people went out at different times. You ain't going to believe it. Some of the Louis went first to build the tabernacle. Then some of the Louis left after that to bring the Kadash thing so it already be set up for them. Yahuwah operating as a Kohan already went before us to do what? Prepare a place. And he considered us, he said, in his house are many vessels. Some on the honor, some on the dishonor. Looked at, he already went and set the place up. He don't heard his call and his Teruah. We're waiting on that last Teruah for our time to get up and go bring the Kadash vessels into the place. We are that Kadash vessels. That's why I say I made you Malakim and Kohan. Because our jobs now, when we hear our Teruah blow, we're going to get up and we're going to take the Kadash vessels into the place that's already been set up that he has already done. That's why in Abba read the 7th chapter, about 14th verse, it let him know he's operating as a Kohan let him know he expect nothing concerning Kohan, let him know he's been converted as to operate in that office, just like most of us, or all of us should be, put it like that. You know what I'm saying, at the end of the day. But at the end of the day, his truth already sounded, went up, like he said, prepared a place for us, just like Bamavar said the first Kohan we're going to do. The first tribe going to go out, they're going to set that tabernacle up, and then we're going to come right behind them, we are through, and do what? Bring our vessels right into the place. It's already been set up for us. Now we got to set this place up with the Kadash vessels. So, with that being said, this don't happen except we believe it. And my time's running out. Oh, real quick, Shapatim, I'm just going to quote it. Where did we come up with this? Because if you pay attention, when he blew a truah, Yehuda went first. Preacher just preached what? Shapatim. Who's going to go fight? Yehuda should go first. Why would Yehuda go first? To prepare a place.
Yehuda.
Even though he operated the thing, he was Yehuda. You could actually go to Yehuda, and guess what? I'm going first, prepare a place, and operate as a Kohan. They wanted to tie that real quick. I almost missed that. Almost missed that part. Last time I regretted anything I missed. My job was to get up here and do the best. I want to be great at this. I tell you, when I say what I tell you about want to be great at something, you don't have to be a preacher. It don't have to be none of this. Everyone should want to be great at this. Then you gotta be, I'm not talking about being a preacher. I'm talking about at this way. I made a deal with Yahuwah. When I came down here, I tell my wife all the time. I don't know where she at. She done walked out. She with Smitty. The Israelite church is down to the left. Take the curse with it. But times in past, I get stressed real easy because money, check to check, bills, behind the mortgage, the whole nine. And it take your mind. I know a lot of us been there. It take your mind off stuff. You get what I'm saying? And when it does that, it takes your mind right off what we're supposed to be down here for. But Yahuwah has a nice little way of reminding me sometimes. Not that he talks to me, but he's this nice way where I've learned now, I've gotten older and a little bit more mature and stuff. It's amazing to say, what was the deal we made? And to my mind, I said, I wanted to come down here and make a 9 to 5. I said, I don't care what I was doing. I work a 9 to 5 to be down here because I just wanted to be around, and I wanted to be able to sleep at night with peace. I wanted to really feel like I'm saved and I'm at peace with Yah. That's all that mattered to me. I said, I don't want to work at McDonald's. I got a degree. That don't matter. I just want to be here. I want my life to be centered around you, about the synagogue. That's all I wanted to do. So I get down here, and things like a lot of us do, we got that engine, we fight, we run fast, we good. But what happens, what I was saying, when you get great at something, it gets boring, believe it or not. People who are great at what they do, they'll tell you, it really gets boring because I'm doing the same thing over and over. And it's kind of like I've achieved, go ask someone who's a great hooper, great rapper, whatever the case, these people say, I will do whatever it takes to be the best at this. And say, they'll tell you, it gets boring. And that's why a lot of teams don't win back-to-back championships a lot of times. It's hard to keep that same mindset. Warriors just won last year. Got outed in the second round with the same exact team. Mindset. We were happy with that. Then they wait till it's over and say, you know what, we didn't have that same drive. Same thing with a lot of them. We come down here with that drive and we on it. We on it. But you know what? It gets boring. And you know what? That's when you let your guard down, get comfortable, and that's exactly what the enemy looking for. You keep boxing, listen, man, you keep throwing jabs, and it's boring because it's like, I really want to do something. But this ain't the way to fight. I got to just keep moving. Boom. Eventually, you get a little comfortable. It's too easy. Okay, then you get a little, yow, knocked out. Now you're getting up, oh, man, I lost the fight. You know what I'm saying? That's being great at this is going to get boring. It is. It's truth be told because it's consistent over and over. But you have to be strong mentally enough to say, I'm pushing past that because there's nothing else. But why I say that was, real quick, let me wrap this up. That was my deal with Yah. And I say, I get down here, get comfortable, and a lot of times you look and say, now I want things. I won't say it to myself or tell it to him, but it's in my life. So you can say, Jay, so what is exactly you're seeking? He said, because you came down here wanting this. Let me see what you got, Jay. You got a house, you got a wife, kids, you got 2 cars, bills are paid, behind 2 or 3 months, whatever the case may be. He said, but at the end of the day, there's nothing really at the end of the day that you're lacking. And you have more than what you are. I didn't make this deal with you. Did you ask for a wife and kids? No. Did you ask for a house? No, I didn't. Okay, so you have more than you asked for, right? Say, yeah, you're right, Yahuwah, I do. I got a lot more. So what do you want? And if I be honest, I just want more. I want more money. I want more. I want to be able to live where I ain't got to worry about my check. I can live like I did when COVID was here for 2 years. Feel like, man, I know what it feels like to be rich now. I want that. And you know what he said? That's good. At least you be honest with me. So here's the catch. So when did our deal change? Because how about I just give you what your real deal was? So I realized, I learned to come to find out that, you know what? I came to be great at something. And a lot of us left that first work. We all came to be great at this, and a lot of us left that work. A lot of us left, a lot of us went and just do some stupid stuff because at some point in time, we stopped believing this. White man wrote it, I don't believe it no more. I only believe what Rod gets up and say. So if he don't preach his whole book until he gets on there, it ain't a sin. Until he revisits adultery, it ain't a sin. Until he revisits multiple wives or whatever, it ain't, because we don't know. We all, you know what I'm saying? We all find every excuse. I can assure you, none of this has changed. I can assure you that. I can assure y'all that it's nothing. Man, listen, man. Anyway, I just want to say this, y'all. Whatever deal you made with Yahuwah, he ain't forgot it. And everyone in here made a deal. Whether y'all want to say it or not, y'all should have made a deal. Everyone in here, some point in time made a deal, what you came in and said you were going to do, and what you would do, and what you want to do. And I'd say probably about 99.9% probably broke that. But for whatever reason, Yahuwah still got us here. I'm just challenging people to, man, be great at something. I prefer to be great at this. I want to be great at this. When I get up, I put in mind, when I give a preacher, I'm trying to give you my best sermon every single time I get up here. I don't care if it's a minute, 30 minutes, an hour. That's why I asked for 2 hours, because I feel like I'm just not going to give you all I can give it to y'all in an hour or even an hour and a half. However the case may be, I want to be great at this. I want y'all to want to be great at it. Forget everything else we got going on. Be great at this. I'm not saying it's a sin to chase money. I'm not saying it's a sin to go out and be great at other things. I'm not saying that. All I'm saying is the deal we all made was I came here to be saved. Everything else does not make you saved or unsaved. Everything else is not going to make you can go get all the money you want. It's not going to make you saved. Chances are you're going to keep chasing money. I got a man out there, a preacher man, who does good for himself. I got a sheriff right here, does great for himself. These guys have accomplished and put their mind and done great for themselves. You watch each and every one of them, they never settle down. A cool boss, like, how often your husband just sit down and enjoy the things he worked for? Now, I'm just being funny. As much as he worked, how often he just sit down and take a break and say, I'm going to just sit down and relax. Preacher goes on vacation to St. Martin. You think he sat down and as much as he said, man, I just want to relax. The whole time the man talking about what he doing when he get me. When I get back, I got this fish farm. I got this. He worried about business the whole time. Dave went to vacation at Myrtle Beach and said, I'm going to drive a tractor. The man made some crazy money trading. This is when we first learned trading, and people were hitting all day. He made some money I'm talking about my monthly income. Like, if I need that month to survive, made that in a day. Talking about I'm driving a tractor on vacation. You know what I'm saying? Listen, and I said it to say that it don't stop. When you get to the next bracket level, it ain't going to stop. You're going to keep hustling. Preacher, I mean, Smitty's out there. I think she might have went to the other camp out there. That man had I always said, man, you got a nice back porch. That man ain't fishing that. I don't think that pond since he been moved there. I don't know how many times preacher fished in there. Every time, I got these, only day I'm going to take a day off. It don't happen. So I'm not saying don't strive for those things. What I'm saying is that look at what you get examples. You got to say, you know what? These guys hustle and bustle, and it's not that you shouldn't. But anything, when you're looking for this to be your out, I believe guys like that, they put a stipulation on what I want to do for Yahuwah, and things follow that. That's where we get backward. We get on, I got to hustle like this now, and you leave this. Be great at, preacher, I say this. One thing I know about he looked at, I will sacrifice whatever it takes to be great at this. And this is where things come from. This is how this stuff transitions over. Because like Shaul said, if I can do this, there's none I can't do. Hey, I can fail at what I already do. You can fail whatever you're going to do naturally. This is not going to determine your salvation. Start 15 businesses and be broke as all outdoors and be a horrible businessman. That does not make you unsaved. That just makes you a bad businessman. But I can assure you when judgment day comes, you're not going to want to see, you're not going to see LeBron James. Yahuwah, but one thing about it, was I not in that GOAT debate? I'll be honest with you. That don't move me. Them people are going to envy us. They're going to envy the Kadash. Because you know what the people will say? Man, them people were great. Like, they're going to be like, man, this is how we look at Shaul. We don't rank them. But, people say, man, Shaul was this. We look at these guys, but that's how people look at athletes. This is who we should be looking at, saying, man, I want to be like, man, listen, man, what Shaq could do, man, I want to do like this. But we don't. All I'm asking y'all to do, be great at, man, listen, y'all got to set your minds, man. Get over your past. Be great at this, man. Because when that line of judgment comes, this is where the envy, and believe it or not, these folks out here, they envy. A lot of these folks out here in the high spots, believe it or not, they'll watch, and these folks will envy a lot of stuff. They got all the money, and these guys will go take a break. LeBron's on vacation. These guys will go and say, you know what, I can take a good 3 months off and relax and really enjoy the fruit of their labor. You know what they look at, though? I can see people like y'all and say, man, you know what, the peace of mind they have. They don't got the stuff I got, but at the end of the day, I got to wonder, at the end of the day, is this going to make it with Yahuwah? He gonna make us envy. I'll get out your way. I want to keep talking because I just don't want to leave anything unsaid or undone, but I think it's almost impossible sometimes. Most High willing, I'll get a chance to preach on Friday as well. Harvey Shalom, y'all, man. And I applaud this message was Barak there. Did you guys get any understanding? Does it make sense to you guys? All right. Appreciate y'all. I want that $500.
Ooh. Yeah, they got that bad boy loud. Human. All right, we done all right. I'm right on the board. All right, that's my little fat man now. All right, everybody all right? All right, seeing y'all look kind of shouted and out. Some of the things he said, I don't know what he was talking about, some of that. I don't agree with that about the words, not one bit. I don't agree about the words. I don't agree at all. There's a difference in our language than any other language. There's a reason when he spoke to them why he spoke that language. For white people, they'll always see it different because it's not their original language. Our people, where we come from and what we heard is what we know. That's the language he spoke to them, and I will get back to it. He's going to restore to us a pure language. It's not going to be English, Spanish. It's not going to be German. It's not going to be Latin. It's going to be the language that he gave to them originally. There's a difference in where we worship versus a church. The meaning of our stuff comes from knitz, which is the word the Greeks translate over to synagogue. It's where we come to meet again. There's a difference in a church and what we do in a synagogue, okay? All these things have different meaning, just like Kodash. It can be used for a whore. It can be used for something clean. We look at the clean of it. Hell, any other words they got, they can have them. That's not the original language they knew. Yahushua would have never taught them the word hell because they wouldn't have known it. It wasn't invented yet. A lot of words that we have, they just didn't have them. And, I mean, a lot of things said I could definitely agree with. I think sometimes we as a people, we made words our fight, in a sense, on a lot of ends. And the fight has come from the oppression of what we've dealt with. There's not another race that could ever understand what we've endured, what we've gone through to get to the point of where we come from. Everything we receive from them. So, of course, it's going to be comfortable. Justin can say that because he's white. Those are white words. Those are white people. So you can be comfortable. His mother's white. His grandfather's white. His uncle's white. Everybody's white. Everybody knows it's white. It's easy to receive it. What we knew for white people were oppressors. That's all we knew. That's not making every white person bad. You just have to understand when we receive something, we have to get more to the root of it so we have a better understanding of it. Y'all got that? I don't use it. I mean, it can mean the same thing. That's fine. All I want to know, what did he say? We come down to get to one simple point. I want to be clear with everybody, okay? I don't cut no corners. I don't chase nothing or do nothing. I'm straight down the middle with everybody, okay? I don't agree with it. I just don't agree with it. I don't know why he said it, but I do know why he said it. I just want to waste my time to do it. If he gave it to you, preach the word. Bottom line, I have a problem with it. I have a serious problem with it. I don't like it. Okay? See, it's stuff you can go and you can say places. I shepherd this. I love it. I teach, okay? These guys all assist. If it's something we can discuss, we can find out. I stand on what I teach. Okay? I stand on that. A lot of times you can go chasing something and versus where you would have gathered, you actually scattered. Feel your audience. Feel your people. Get people to the gist of what they need to do and what they need to know. Salvation is the key for every one of us. There are always things we're going to struggle with. And he's right. A lot of these languages and the words we learn, because of the people we sat under, of course we had to learn their language. We came over, we didn't speak their language. So we would have never known nothing about hell. We would have never known about the word church. We got all these words when we came into contact with them in slavery. They did not meet us, and we had a conversation sitting down on intellect. Everything we received from these people were forced upon us, and we took it, and we were brought here, and it was forced upon us. Some of our marriages were forced upon us. Rape was forced upon us. Everything. This is just being honest. The average white people will never sit down to really look at their guilt, to look at the real fact of what's been done to us.
A lot of our people out here in Hebrew Israelite, a lot of them are scattered and messed up. And it's because of the oppressor. It's constantly a word game. It's constantly a word. None of these words bother them because it's their words. Why would it bother them? It's their words. And that's not to put against white people. You just have to understand our position. When it comes down to salvation, we could have never gotten it under them. Just being honest, we couldn't have gotten it under them. It take no more than they will say in Mizraim. When did they receive salvation? Your captors will never give you that time. They gave us days of the week. Wasn't nothing wrong with those. Then we found out later what? These are Greek gods. They named days after them. Mars, church, Krukos, go back to the Greek. Go back to their German. A lot of things are not good to them. When you take their writing that they translated over for church, church was only recorded one time. One time. And it was always used to denote a pagan worship place in the 19th chapter, Exodus Shalakim. It was never used. So when you even look at that etymology, what are they going to tell you? Of course they're going to tell you it associate over with what they do. It's their stuff. This is not a language we originally spoke. We never spoke it. We spoke it when we came into captivity, but it worked to a benefit because being able to communicate with them and come back to truth, they can see it in us and they can get grafted in just like other people were. When there were other nationality that was around them, other Goyim, these people wound up getting grafted in because of the people that kept the Torah. And these are things that people have to understand about us. It looks like people of color are angry people. Of course we angry. We're the people that's been beaten. We're the people that only have a history to one grandparent. While they can go all the way back overseas to where their family originally came from overseas and then came over somewhere else and then came over here and all the records there. How much record we got? So when you take anybody, they don't have their history, they don't have their knowledge, you're going to find a people that's definitely going to be upset. We're going to definitely question everything. It's not playing a word game. It's just getting down to what did he call it? If he called it Sheol, I'm calling it Sheol. If you want to call it hell, that's your language. You can call it hell. Why can't I call it what he called it? He didn't call it church, so I'm not going to call it a church. If he said it, what's wrong with getting to what he said? The people he made his berith with never knew these words. Okay? All these languages we got into, what happened? Just like with Nakum Yah. What was his anger with them for? Not being able to speak their language. And amazingly, the white people want us to give it up and just say white. That makes no sense. A lot of things just makes no sense to me. I don't get it. What's the fight? Tell us about salvation. Our fight is not a word fight. It's just, what did he say? You can't be trusted. You gave us our imagery. What is an angel? What picture you see in your mind? It's just a messenger. How did you come up with a white wing? So, of course, words are going to look a certain way to them because they're comfortable with it. We're not comfortable with it because he's agitating us to look at, if I'm going to restore back to you a pure language, then you're going to have to look at everything you're doing, not just behavior, what you're saying. That's just being to an honest end. It ain't about hating white people, hating Spanish people, hating nobody. We are the only people that don't have a language. Okay. Speak African. Are y'all supposed to be African American? Speak African. You first. Speak African.
Oh, I wouldn't know what tribe to pick.
They can speak English. Speak African.
I have no idea how to speak it.
You're a school teacher. Why you know how to speak it? You're African American.
Don't know it.
That's right. Everything you have is what you've been taught. Africa derived from white people, from the name title, it's a Keepalon. Now, they won't tell you that. They'll tell you something different, and they'll argue that point. I don't agree with it. I don't agree with it. 100%, I don't agree with it, one bit, because that's offensive. That we can't have meanings to words. These are not even our words. These are the words he spake. And to say that the words of the oppressor are equivalent to, I don't agree. Do you agree with that? I'm just curious. Oh, sorry. I might be out by myself.
No, sir. No, sir.
I don't agree with it. I don't agree with it. The plan of salvation is right. Y'all got me? I will not be insulted. Never will I teach what I believe. Listen, we come into what we know, what he gives us. We just want to get back to what he said. It ain't a fight with the black man, ain't a fight with the white man, ain't a fight with the Hispanic man, ain't a fight with the Cuban man. Why can't everybody just get back to what he said? That gets rid of all the dissolve. Don't be the person in power, in charge, and say, let everybody let it go and come back to what I say. That doesn't make sense to me. You're the people that gave it to it. This is why we had a confusion. And our people are notorious for when a white person says something, we take it. Then we drop etymology. When you see they tell you about our word, what you think they're going to tell you? That it's the same as. Why didn't they use it? Why didn't Yahushua tell us about him? When he went back through the Torah and told them about Mushah, how much Greek could he have told them? How much Latin would he have told them? None of these, Abraham wouldn't know any of this. Why, if we're supposed to be descendants of Abraham, why we can't get back to what he said? What did he see in this man that he gave him a berith, that he baraked everybody through it? There is a purity of behavior we have to get back to. They make it a word game fight. When you start dealing with all the different things that they try to use, the way we write is even different than them. They'll write from left to right and push us on it. That's not right. How they write? Right to left? How do they write? Left to right, we go right. Makes sense. He tried to get you to stay right. You know what I mean? So it makes sense to right the same way you're supposed to go. Everything was imagery. Upright. You understood what upright meant. When they give it to us, who they give us is upright? White heroes. How many of them do you have that's black? Yeah. And that's not to make it a white or black thing. You have to understand, when there as a nation, you are the oppressor. Of course you're not going to see a problem with it. They use the King James Version to make us slaves. I don't know why don't we see this? They know this. Of course the Bible is okay to them. Where does it say do something to white people? What does it tell white people to serve us? That Chick-fil-A in a mess right now. Because one of the guys just said white people need to shine black folks' shoes. I don't see how that could be insulting. We shine yours. Whites never found a problem when we shine their shoes, tit-fed their babies. It only becomes a problem when they have to be told to do it by their own. Chick-fil-A should be getting millions of dollars funded to them. They'll say, yeah, they're going to be an uproar. Why wasn't it a problem when I was shining your shoes? When my mom was keeping your baby for no pay. So a lot of times people don't realize when they look at us, we look angry and bark. Of course we're angry. Why wouldn't we be angry? We're the oppressed. I'm going to rape Mother Smith. What you mad about? Why should she be mad if I rape her? Why should she be mad if I sell her kids off? Why should she be mad if I kill her husband? And she should be accepted of their language too. At some point, we had to get conscious. Okay? All I want, just tell me, give me the plan of salvation. You can speak it in English, but don't tell me Aubrey don't have a meaning to it. We're the first people to write. We're the first people we go back look at, us and Miss Raim. And it come down to it, it's just to the nitty gritty. Everybody got to get this if you're going to be saved. Y'all got it? Everybody got to get it. I'm not comparing no church to nothing we do. That is retarded. Their own writers put it in. Every one of them translated from, they translated their church writing, and they got their stuff from another white man who said it only used it one time. And they killed him because he even tried to, your stuff ain't right. When their own whites tell them their stuff wrong, they kill them. That's it, man. They only found it in one writing. They gave it to us for what reason? What good have we ever done in church? That's it. When I teach y'all, I don't teach you to insult your intelligence. I teach y'all, I want you to think. Let's look and let's think. Listen, you're dealing with your oppressor. How many avenues you think they're going to give you to a word? I heard when he said they taught us how to use the dictionary. They taught you how to use a dictionary? Or they gave you a dictionary, told you to look something up? Help me out. Did they tell y'all how to use a dictionary? How many of y'all, tell me. I just want to know how many of y'all taught you how to use one. They taught you. We got one. How about the rest of y'all? 1, 2, 3, right here. I have to check you. 4, 5 people. So what happened with the rest of us? Most of them didn't know the difference between a thesaurus and a dictionary. An encyclopedia. They taught you those differences too? In what grades? What grade level? 3rd for her. What? Elementary school? What grade? 3rd grade. That man went to school in Mississippi. That's a lot of information. So that's 3. We'll give it to them. So what we gonna do to the rest of these people? There's just a lot of things we weren't taught, we weren't given. I will end in one thing. We want salvation. This ain't about hating nobody, but we're not gonna be stupid. We're not stupid. I'm not stupid enough to believe that these words are equivalent to everything Elohim said. That makes no sense to me. The man said he came through Mizraim, he heard the language. He said, I ain't even understand it. That man pulled us out from a people. And this man gave us writings, gave us rituals, gave us statutes, and told us how we were supposed to halak. He gave how to walk. I'm going to stay with that. We know walking, they're going to say, I don't just take what the man said. If the man told him walk, then I said walk. I'm going to say the same thing the man said on coming to America. I'm not calling him Muhammad. I'm going to call him Cassius. What did mama name him? Y'all go, he could be Muhammad Ali. His mama named him Cassius. What's on his birth certificate? So you don't realize when you translate, people say, you lose something. You do lose something. There's a behavior that goes with our language. The reason why I like and I talk about it, and when we look at the Abari, it's a different than just a meaning. They actually understood how it worked. That's a difference of when you read it. I was not just looking at a word, define the word. Do you really understand how it operates? It taught them times and seasons, a lot of things they learned because there was a practice. This was a constant practice. You use everything I talked about. You use this. Now I'm going to teach you how it all correlates to him. That's all we're trying to get to. The English didn't teach me that. I'm unfortunate. I didn't get that from the English. When we looked at it and start looking at it and start dealing with the ancient and looking at the hieroglyphics, hieroglyphs, writing with imagery, it made a difference. Even they tell you a picture says 1,000 words. Now, I don't hate Justin for it. I wouldn't have done it. I think it was very reckless, and that's for any of my ministers that do that. I don't get it. I really didn't get it. I didn't get that part. Give me the book. Give me what the book say. If words don't mean, just say what the book say. But he took time to make sure he did that. So I want to make sure I take time to say I don't agree with it. I'm not a hypocrite. Y'all got me? I heard y'all clapping. I heard you clapping. Some of y'all just follow and we just clapped anything. It don't make a difference if it makes sense to you or not. My goal is when I teach you to make sure you understand. It ain't so you can follow me. I'm not a Elohim to you, ruler over you in that point, especially have dominion over your amunah. But you got to understand, when you're dealing with people, the gift of this move is this. He's saying being great people get comfortable. I can't speak to nobody. I can't speak for nobody else as far as people being great get comfortable. And that can very well be true. Can speak from self-examination. With this, you'll never get great at it. For me, it's always a constant learning. It's always a constant, you have to grow into things and you have to understand. See, just like when you look at when a shepherd is having sheep, anybody know them other animals he might keep with him? And what them dogs do? They try to keep him where he's going. He going this way, don't let them go out that way. That's what you do. You assist to make sure we keep them in the same drive. You saying? Because a lot of that just put y'all, I know some people, that is true. Words don't make a difference. I just call you MF. What is MF for you? Insulting? Well, it might mean nothing in another language. I don't care what it means in another language. I'd rather not. Let's just stay with what we know. We can have a whole lifetime of arguing of words that are similar, words that are bad in other languages. We're trying to stay here. This is a hard drive keeping people here. This is hard. This is a hard drive. And we haven't moved anywhere near where we need to go to. Just like, see, the problem we got with English is even it takes away from how he operates. When I start telling you how English operates and how he operates, it's different. He does what they would call, he does verb first. White people do something different. They let's deal with the subject. That's just not how he operates. So what I'm going to say, well, he wrong or it's the same? No, I want you to see the action. Then I let you identify me and know what the subject is. Y'all said that's just how he operates. Now when they write, they'll come there and do something. You say, well, preacher wrong. When I read this, he deals with the subject first. Who wrote this? Who wrote this? They wrote it. So of course they're going to change, because English has to make it fit their pattern. That's not their pattern. Whenever you read something, you read it, it's the strange. You're looking trying to figure out, what? What? Because of the way he writes. He even told you, I declared the end at the beginning. They'd rather take you all the way from the start and you find out the end when you get to the end. He said, not me. I'd rather tell you about it before we get there. You know, they'll come on and tell you about a Malak. They're my hypothetical. They said, Eric Hopper, he was the Malak over Yehuda. And he did that which was what? We can find that out when we get to the end. Tuberose. You need to know that. I need to declare that at the beginning. So you already know for you instead of getting to the end, oh, what did he do? I'm trying to figure out, was he good or bad, like a movie? Well, I'm trying to get to the end. He said, only wait for it. I'll tell you about it before you get through. And then when you read it, you'll start to understand how it went wrong. He just rather go and put your mind there first. I want you to understand what this person did right, whether they did wrong, and then when you read, you understand how they got off. They just don't write that way. That's not their writing style. So when you're dealing with people that pen things differently, they see things differently, they define things differently, what you think? White people, everything they got just about is Greek. From Greek to Latin, everything. You go to their courtroom, that judge don't speak Latin or Greek. What's on the front of that court? What's on the front of that seal? That's Latin. What's them images up there? And they tell you what American flag hanging in them. That's how backwards the place is. Wouldn't make sense. There's a difference. And I don't want that to be misconstrued. That's not something we do. But this is what they say, all scripture, all of the Ketuvim, the writing, they give them for correction. So he want to be perfect, he'll take correction. I'm the corrector. I'm the corrector. And I take correction. Anyway, I don't agree with that one bit. I want to make sure it's understood. I don't agree with it one bit. That makes no sense. Now, y'all are welcome to believe what you want to believe. I don't have no dominion over your armor now. But everything come down to it. He's going to restore to us a pure language. And I don't believe every arbitrary word we read is the correct, exact, because they play with stuff. They do a lot of playing, and it's a lot of fighting for us because we're trying to get to the gist of our salvation. What did he say? What did he say? They'll tell me, Superman of God, heal God. They got so many confusion. It puts so many mixed emotion. A lot of our people have just walked away from religion. White people ain't even walked in it because they know they fabricate. They made a lot of this stuff up. Look up their haters in English. It's a down slope. A lot of this stuff does not denote the same thing. Of course, they're going to tell you shield and then tell you haters. It's their stuff. I don't want to look wrong, so you're going to fall. When you read, you can't fall for everything they tell you. Cassius Clay told the best thing. When they showed him and told about the best story of white people, every white person. When they showed you a machine, him and Rocky Marcial fighting, who lost? And they brought him on TV and they asked him about it. He said, who machine is it? He said, no. He said, who machine is it? He said, it's a white man machine. Who you think they were going to let win? They put that tape up. Y'all just seen this in the 2000s. That was in the 70s. He shut them down. You put a machine in here, me fighting a man that's dead. Imagery. Talking about the machine is showing both our fighting style. And by the machine, I might change my fighting style. Jerry shorted me. I can't fight him to say I want to fight Boston. So you don't go with a machine done said it? Are you serious? That's the same thing that messed us up. A machine that ran your test. Every time we look around, we the ignorant people because we take everything they say to an end and they think of defense. You are the oppressor. I am the oppressed. I have to question. I have to watch you. What is your intent? What is your intent? I'm a victim. I'm knocked out. I'm hurt. She want to take me to the hospital, and the hospital she going to take me to is the folk that whoop me up. I got to look. What is your intent? Why would you be taking me back to the people that victimized me? Take me to the water. Take me to the water. Listen, end of the day, salvation is our agenda, okay? Above anything. Y'all got it? We're not going to try to manipulate as though things haven't happened because things have happened. Do we still have to stay focused? Yes. Just like he said, I work hard, everybody do what they do. He right, I do, I work hard. But I still making my business, I don't miss. I ain't fell down, fell short, come up missing, come back. I hold my own right here. I ain't been missing. I'm standing there because I know what people need. I don't apologize for me working hard. He right, I constantly keep going. Y'all know why I constantly keep going? Because the people constantly be needing. When you only have to take care of one family, you can relax and you can take it easy. You can kick your feet up. Y'all know who got the debt, got the world ration? Every time y'all slip, every time y'all miss, every time y'all make a stupid decision, guess who paid? So I need to be somewhere relaxing with my feet up, taking it easy. And what you gonna be doing? You gonna be outside. I gotta cut a check now for $3,000 for somebody's stupidity. So I can afford to just take it easy and do nothing. I can't afford it. I'm constantly at the end. I'm always paying for people's stuff. Here and gone. I'm paying out money. You know what constant? I get jilted in him. Old people steal me blind, and guess what I keep doing? Keep letting me shine. He keep me going. No, he keep me going. Cause he got to. It'll be discouraging. People won't give you back. People will take from you. People will lie to you. People will manipulate you other than just do what they're supposed to do. Just give me mine. So I can keep going. I want to see everybody do well. So if you won't push, I push. I don't make no apology for what I do. None. I tell you, if I don't make no apology for them. I want them to set up with the best. I want the best for every one of y'all. Don't I tell that? Don't lie for me. Do I say F these people? If I ain't got y'all, I ain't got nothing. Y'all the seal of my shalom. That's just being honest. Y'all the seal of it. A man make room for him. So he give it to me just to run my mouth. I also put up where my mouth at. I put the time in. I put the money in. I put the tears in. I put the palau in. I put the confidence in. Who had done told me something in confidence and went somewhere else? As in them folk gone to tell y'all what I done told, they gone, run me down. I never told y'all their business. Because it ain't your business. Got nothing to do with you. Can everybody do that? No. They got to tell somebody. People don't understand what you have to do. But he carved and cut us all out for different jobs. Different people cut for different jobs. That's just being honest. I didn't make myself. Nobody made themselves. He carved people out for different reasons. To get the great, and then, I don't know, maybe people do it. For me, this is something you always strive. I'll never be great at this. I don't know. The only person be great at this to me, he gone. I think people have done well in their position. But him, this, I just try to maintain. And I tell every shara, every out that he'll ever give you the baraka to do it, wait your time. Everything got a time. You got a time. I remember when I started out, you don't want to run fast. It takes time. You don't just gather people because you open your mouth on no straight. It takes time. People got to know you're genuine. People got to know you that. People got to know you can get them correction, and you can take correction. I had to earn it because I could take correction too. It don't feel good, and it don't feel good when y'all get it, do you? But you got to take it, and you got to know how to issue and give it to people. See, sometimes you can let the tongue do enough damage. You can kill everything you got. Y'all got it? Take our time. That's how we do, how we law. And people need to see this too. Everybody got to get corrected. Because whom he'll haul. And he scared every being he received. Y'all got it? It's a lot went out. It's a lot going out tonight. There's a lot of things I think just could have took a little time. Because you can tell whether you, this is what I do. I try to make people my focus. An individual or a thing. You'll lose focus. You can have a good point, but you lost it. I got people that might email. I don't read. That's why I tell you. Y'all say when I tell people make video, what I say I do? I don't watch them. I don't read that stuff. Because you know why? Because you'll make them your fight, and I'll lose what I'm trying to gather. I've got to teach the best is to gather. I ain't trying to lose. I'm trying to keep gaining. And you'll make other things your issue and your fight. Word play ain't our fight. That's a hang up he got. Because he feel like we ought to use English. Do y'all have a problem with the operative words? I don't either. Why would I have a problem with, why can't I just say what he said? Why can't I just say why can't I just know what he said? That's getting as original, as organic as you can get. Everything you give me is something been translated. Look, I got a noose around it. Last time we saw a noose around our neck. Then I got grammatic, which is German. So by the time y'all get through flipping, you tell me I got the same meaning. Of course you can come and say this the same meaning. But you'll have a whole underground, you have an old underneath narrative going. That's why they can play with you from dictionary to etymology to adjective, whether it's a noun. They play too many games. Just tell me what it is. At the end of the day, that's all we know. What is the plain gist of, what did he say? How can I be saved? And that's true. Some people do make a whole lot of words they hang up. But at the end of the day, when we're dealing with the Aubrey language, and if it's something he said, why can't I just know what he said? If words don't make a difference, they're the same thing, won't you just say what he said then? I don't get that. Why don't we just say what he said? Since he the one said it, why you gonna try to translate something I said and something else? They want to hear what you say, I'm gonna tell them. No, I'll just tell them what I said. They want to know what I said. But when you get translated, people got to take it, they got to say it a certain type of way. And so, well, let me see how to say it in this language. How about if you just say it the way I said it? That's where I'm at. 100,000, 4 million, 50,000 trillion %. I just want what he said. I can give a flying flip by English, Greek, Latin. I tell any Greek, Latin, white, I don't care what color you are, I mean what I said. I can give a flying flip about what you said. I want to know what he said, okay? That's all I want. What did he say? What action were you trying to get from these people? What were their understanding? You gave a beret to men that are gone that I'm going to receive an inheritance through. That's not important for me. What did you say to them? What did you tell them? How did you say it? What was their understanding when they heard it? These are things that are important to me. When I give y'all different things we read, different writings, I try to ask y'all, how do you see it? When he appeared to our Muslim, he showed them the tea. He said, what you see? He said, a basket of summer fruit, which was kites, summer fruit. That's what kites is. Am I correct? Kites is summer fruit. He said, good, the end is near. He knew when he saw that basket, he knew the teeth and everything was in there. You just took in for the last time. I'm telling you, the end is near. He understood it because this was their occupation. I gather in, and I put them in a basket, and I gather in everything I'm gonna get, I could take in. He said, what do you see? What's the knowledge? What is your perception? He said, this is kites. He said, then know the end is near. I'm getting ready to gather my people in. Everything I'm gonna take back into my barn. We saying how they understood they had a place they stored things at. These imagery, this understanding is important. So we translate it over to Ruachni. We have to understand things from a natural perspective and translate it over to Ruachni. But we're trying to key in. We just want the plainest, the rawest, the direct of what you said so I can know I'm doing it right. That is my total desire. I just want to get it right. It ain't a word game fight. I ain't trying to have no word game fight. I don't know what the world he was talking about them words. Just stop it. It was time wasting to me. Just say what the book say. You could have said it in English. I don't care. Say it in. Just give him the end of it. Everything ain't right, he gonna correct. I mean it. Everything ain't right, he gonna correct. Everything ain't right, he gonna correct it. Y'all got me? 1,000%. Any of y'all are leaking there, you can go ahead and leave. It don't make me no difference. I'm gonna still be him doing his job. Remember what you heard and who you heard it from. I ain't dropped no standard for nobody. I ain't gonna drop one to keep none either. I stand for one thing, I'm standing for what's right. Sadiq. We're gonna be Sadat, just. Why we can't say what he said? Let's just go back and call him God then. Let's go back and call him Jesus. Everybody gonna play us some game we play. These Johnny come lately, these folk, man, why I gotta go get it? Why can't I go back to what he said? I don't get this. Why can't we just say what he said? We make stuff more difficult. He trying to pull us in, you drawing us out. Your defense down, folks. That's how they got us the first time. Your defense was down. Well, I keep mine, I gotta stay guarded. I tell you what Shaul said. I marvel. You will so soon remove him that call you into the corner you unto another tube new, which is not. But there'll be some that will trouble you and will pervert. That cause you to deviate, go from a proper way. Why are we moving? I heard y'all. I said, that's crazy. I said, I don't know what's going on. This is crazy. We're not moving. I ain't moving. Clean living, I've been teaching, I stand on it. One husband, one wife, I stand. I don't go no. These words ain't made me want to have no orgy. They ain't want me to have no drinking party. They ain't made me want to no homosexuality. These words ain't bother nobody. They're right. We just want to get the understanding. We just want to be able to communicate with this man the way he communicated. We just want to be able to talk with this man and translate over to who he wants us to be. They're going to take our time. We'll take our time. But this was two for everybody. That's why I let it keep going. It was two. It gave everybody, give us understand, give us the opportunity to sit down and watch. And I know they said, well, preacher can move him. Preacher ain't moving. You ain't stupid. You know what you heard. I ain't nobody, I like somebody just jump and just go. I don't run no to and fro with no every winter doctrine. A lot of stuff don't move me. I stay consistent. I guarantee you, if I ain't doing something right, it's going to come up. I guarantee if I ain't doing something right, it's going to come up. I guarantee you, if ain't nothing right, if somebody else doing something right, it's going to come up. That's just been, if you can follow, you'll show it. I tell you, folks, man, I ain't just jump up and no preach, man. I had to follow. I had to follow. Follow. That's how you get a leader. I had to follow. I had to learn. Don't scatter. You stay with. Anything gonna get you ready. It'll show itself. That's a way to do anything. But I should know a whole lot. Folks don't know. But I should know a whole lot of words. Whole lot of stuff. He just don't say nothing. He sat down. I know I watch. I just look. You know what? It'd be a time. It'd be a time for things. You can move. You can do something, and you'll cause more division. You'll cause togetherness. Hello? Listen, Yahuwah he was with Yahushua just like he was with Mushah. And he could have jumped right on up there. You know what they knew, how they knew Yahushua? He was a shard of Mushah. And when the time came for him, they told him, come forth. Mushah is moot. And I'm going to be with you just like I was with him, because you can follow. Mushah knew how to follow. That's the first thing I tell you, anybody going to be a leader, learn how to follow. Anybody can jump out in the front, learn how to follow. That's great. You ever find a good leader? They was a good follower. I used to tell my wife to tell you about that. I was a good follower. He put anything he put in my hand, he can never tell I effed it up. He had to come back and say, I put this in your hand. I handled the finance. I was over the finance. I handled listen, whatever he gave me, whatever, never dropped the ball. He came to my house one night. They had a preacher meeting. They were getting the church back there burned to the ground. They were putting it back together. He said, he came on one night. He said, I just left for me in there with them. He said, these guys coming to pray. He said, take care of that for me. I got all that stuff he want. They had them folks they were so pissed, so mad. These guys were trying to come up off the church. They were so pissed. They went calling manufacturers on me. Report me. This is for church that we all attended. I have went, saved them $1,000. Do you know they called a manufacturer? How you think that made me feel? You know what he told me? So don't say nothing about it. I never addressed them to the day about it. Y'all heard it from me. You know. Stabbed me right in my back. You talking stab? I made nothing. This was for us. These folk called the manufacturer. Want to know, how did I get it? This was, I was simply saying. I didn't make a dime. I paid for it to save them $1,000. That's how raunchy, rotten people are that'll be right among you. Raunchy, rotten. White folk had favor for me. I told them what happened in my church, what happened in the church. They said, we'll give it to you at our cost. I got it done, got it shipped. I said, I'll pay for the shipping, ship it down. I just got that stuff. Man, they were so pissed because they had wrote up to make money off the church. They the elders. I'm just a minister. These bastards wanted every dime off of it. They were going to beat the members. I was the bad guy. They called the manufacturer to find out how did I get it. Put the company in a mess. They were doing they was doing this to help us. You know how they had to look at us? Nigga, show grimy. I'm trying to help y'all out. One of your people called. Yeah, that's all story. I'm used to it. Y'all see holes in the back of my shirt. They call people like stab me in the back. But I still keep wearing it. It don't make no difference. End of the day, let's heart one another. What is it? That's all it is. Stay focused. I don't let that get my. At the end of the day, I just want to be clear as he preached it. I don't go along with none of that. I don't go along with none of it. Y'all understand me? Not one iota bit, I don't go along with it. So I want to say it as plain as he said it. Y'all got it? All right, that's all right. Give Mr. Yahuwah a hand clap. Appreciate it. Did y'all already give y'all money? I got to put some in the basket. Did everybody already get their money? Oh, that's why they clapping so hard trying to get out here. Where your money at? Now, I go along with that money. Oh, what's that down? That's what I'm talking about. I appreciate that. Anything help me get bigger and fatter. Yeah, we'll take it. We appreciate it. Boy, that sure enough help. Everything help to it. Take me to the water. Take me. Anybody been messing with you? Anybody been messing with you? Who been messing with you? And a fight come with that. Well, everybody all right? Appreciate Mr. Yahuwah for everything. We get our announcement where they get the money. Go ahead and take out the money. Y'all loosen up. Yahuwah's still alive. He ain't dead, is he? Is he moved? All right, that's right. That weekend we're looking to have us a muhard.
Yes, sir.
Ain't that right? Come on, that's right. Don't say that. Who called Shabuah? And that's what we're going to call it. They can call it Pentecost. You put all your pennies and cost. I don't care how much they cost you. Well, I can't go what he said. Isn't that right? Huh? We're not having Pentecost this weekend. We're having who called Shabuah?
Yes, sir.
That's what he called it. That's what I called it. That's all. I can see if I done invented and made up my own word. You know what I'm saying? We're going to have a blockalaka. That's crazy. Where'd you get it from? I don't care. All I want to do is, what wrong is Ukal Shabuah, right? What we having this week? Pentecost? Well, it's the same thing. Well, you have Pentecost. I'm going to do Ukal Shabuah. That's why I can't say what the man said. Y'all all right with that?
Yes, sir.
I don't talk, no. Now, some of y'all be all over. Which way y'all want to go now? Y'all want to have Pentecost or y'all want Ukal Shabuah?
Ukal Shabuah.
Well, meet me here. I'll be having Ukal Shabuah, man. We'll be doing what he said. The Pentecost, the same thing. Have it. Enjoy yourself. How am I going to go fight? Like these clowns. You ain't got no right to go kick nobody door in, trying to make nobody change. Why I look like going to these churches, kicking these folk doors in, telling them you can't have church? You do what you want to do, because nobody ain't going to make me stop doing what the man said do. That's their business. Do what you want to do. Like it's your thing. Do what you want to do. I can't tell you who to sock it to. Ain't that right? Why I can't do his thing? This ain't my thing. This preacher thing. No, it ain't preacher thing. This Yahuwah thing. That's right. Ain't that right? I'm just operating. He told me occupy till I come. That's right. If I get to where I can't take correction, I'll hold that thing up. What y'all think he gonna do? Oh, gonna leave me right here? Move. He said, I gotta move you. If you can't transition, I gotta move you. That's how you operate. So I know this ain't mine. I don't care where it started at. It's just it's in my hand for a period of time. And when he get ready, he gonna move it. And it's gonna transition over. But I wanna lay a foundation. Always leave space to change and grow. That's everybody. When you ain't got no space and room you can grow, folk can't tell you nothing. You ain't gonna do nothing. You ain't gonna do no good, because anybody can do nothing with you. You gotta be able to take correct. You gotta be able to transition. That's everybody. Y'all know how that hurted me to take down the Way of God, Church of Lord Jesus? That was in state paperwork, bank checks, on the sign. We had to tear it down, take it down. Because you look at, if you can't transition, you can't grow. It's a reason why things change. And you have to be able to transition with it. Otherwise, he can't use you. That growth right down. You can't transition, he can't use you. Y'all got it?
Yes, sir.
What we got, Yoshi? What that little sexy dress you wore last week? Yeah. I don't want to talk about that, though. Now we all spiritual. What you got?
Sunday was Janae's birthday.
All right. Happy birthday, Janae. What an old self.
Today is Nala's 7th birthday.
Who birthday?
Nala.
Nala, all right, happy birthday. Nala, hey, happy birthday. Woo, got a little crown on. Look at that. That's all right. How you doing? Happy birthday, sweetie. Happy birthday. AJ, you heard that?
I'm sorry, Nayla. I
Nayla,
apologize.
I know.
For real?
AJ.
You like that? You was my
AJ.
favorite.
You all right? Oh, he's still sleeping. They just haven't put me on the spot. All right.
Also, tomorrow is, I think, Naya's birthday. The Palmer's daughter, 18th birthday tomorrow.
All right, happy birthday, Naya. That's all right, happy birthday.
Everybody send their hug.
And we'll hug them too. Also, appreciate everybody. Give them a hand clap. Appreciate everybody sending a hug. Appreciate them. Also, Danny and Tamir will be graduated this Friday. They'll be marking. Congratulations. That's right. When does Naya graduate? Hey, they got out South Carolina behind us, ain't it? I think she graduated. I think they graduated in November. They don't got out of school yet. They got when? The 7th of November. Give her a hand clap. And South Carolina way behind. They class of 23 graduated like 27, something like that. They way behind South. Who up in South Carolina? See, take them out to get their hand. Except for you. You caught up. You all right. There's some more people in here. You were born in South Carolina? For real? Sorry to hear that. I guarantee she ain't put on her application when she joined. Well, I'm right. You from South Carolina? Perfect example. That's what I'm talking about. She just raising her hand to tell her even now. What happened? You didn't even think about it like, wow, do I really want to say South Carolina? Y'all know, what does South Carolina produce? That's what I thought. So then watermelon, I wouldn't brag about that. We got Cordell. They won't want to put them. Now that's like, what? I mean, any great thing happening in South Carolina? Now I'm gonna be honest now. Murder B, tobacco, killing people. You know how many people die from cancer from smoking cigarette? Slave, tobacco field. Man, I rode, ain't Columbia the capital of South Carolina? You know, that's the first time I ever rode through a city on the expressway and I didn't see one building. I saw, anybody ever been through Columbia for real? You can't see nothing but trees. Y'all remember we went through that going to Murder Beach? Of course y'all don't remember. It was nothing but trees. That is the first time, oh man, see know that? It's trees on the street. You can't see no buildings. No city does that. Every city like, see my buildings? Come stay at my hotel. They like, you want to build a tree house? On a cigarette? He claimed Philly. You heard him? I'm Philly. Yeah, he claimed Philly tree don't cover so bad. But we appreciate it. Let me say this. We got the best of what they got from down there. The Palms and all. We got y'all. We getting a shovel. We gonna dig the Palmers out of there too. Gonna dig. Meeks down there. God damn, he way back. Worst food I just about ate. Worst food, North Carolina. Wife from North Carolina. Worst food I ate in my life. Everything I ate. They took me to a soul food restaurant. Uncle Dave was so proud. They said, he'll like it. They took me out. I got, what's the thing? I said, I hate it. That's right. I said, terrible. I said, I get an Arby's. Went to Arby's. Hate it. I said, y'all, how y'all F up an Arby's? It ain't nothing but raw, half-cooked meat on a bun. I had to drive all the way to South Carolina, Myrtle Beach to eat. Took me out my way every day to go eat. And I enjoyed every minute of it. Yeah, that's all right. We appreciate it. It ain't y'all fault, Dave. We got Dave and Tay about it. We saved what we could out of them. And we got me. Y'all like Luke. And here, but the wife came that time, she didn't get salty. Y'all came on, we got y'all out that day, just in time. Dave been enjoying their food since he told me he's a preacher. He said, I'm gonna tell you now, George got that thing down. I said, I know it, Dave. It just stay between us, Dave. It went something like that. Isn't that right? That's all right. But everybody, that's all right. Appreciate it. And also, Tube to have Uncle Ted back. Isn't that right? Appreciate you, Uncle Ted. Good to have you back. We appreciate it. Look at him. Oh, wow. He said the best I said all night. No, definitely good to have you back. We appreciate Yahuwah for healing and getting you back. You definitely will miss. And like I said, we certainly still got you in our Palal and Carrie and Keisha as well, and Chris, you know. Zakat one another. Right? Like that mark to remember. Definitely Zakat one another. I tell him about it. All of us living, eventually, that's a pathway we got to pass, or one of our family members. And you want Yahuwah to keep every one of us in that con and conceit to where he just keep us strengthened. A lot of times, when folk lose folk, it take everything from them. It keep us standing. We all got to cross that pathway. You just want to know when it happens, whether my time, whoever he take from me. I don't want to be the one that fight against it. I want to be able to accept his will. It might hurt. Well, ain't no might. It'll hurt. At the same time, help me to stand. They ain't coming out like sometimes. It takes sometimes losses to come in and really mature you to look at growing. You'd be surprised. The things he removed out of your life sometimes, it make you to where you can't depend on that no more. I got to look to you. Whether it's sickness, whether it's finances, whether relationship, whatever it is, a kid, you'd be surprised. He moved things for a reason. It sometimes come to grow. Don't look at everything going from you. He's trying to strip you down. Sometimes he take things from you and give you a chance to build you up. Because a lot of times you'd be surprised how many things you got in your life. It's a stronghold for you. Y'all know, some people, I don't know what happened to me, something happened to my mom. You heard folks say that? That's a bad statement because your mama living, your mama going to die like mine. Your daddy living, whoever, whatever you got. So you have to accept in your mind and look at, I just got to make sure I'm right. Keep that relationship that whatever come and when it come, I just want you to help me to stand. Y'all got it? Whoever, whatever he come touch or get, just help me to stand. All right? All right, all lost with us below. Kadash Shabbat, separated Father. All Hadu, thanks. All the two daughters, Yoshim, for all you rendered. For the Kassid, which is the favor, for the Rekam, for the mercies that you granted us, that we might have an understanding of how we should halak, how we should walk. We plow at you, which is we ask that you will baraka your shalakim, your ra'ah, your malaki, which are your sent ones, your shepherds and your messengers, that you will bestow a gift or a benefit upon them, that the debar that goes from the pa, which is the words of the mouth, that it might be easily to be understood, that we might have a yada, which is a knowing, that you might grant us a talmim understanding, which is yada, that we will be the arm that you seek, which is the people in the last and Rosh Yamin, which are the days, in the evil days. We allow that you will baraka the berif you shopper, which is the covenant you vowed to Abraham, Yasakak, Yacob, the Yahudim, to Yasharal, the Tuladap, which are the generations, even to us and our Tuladap, which are our generation, to recover us and make us a Gui, which is a nation after your own law, which is after your heart. Grant us that our lives, our minds might be continually upon you, that we don't fade away, that we don't falter and we don't fade. We allow that you be a baraka to the out-of-towners and those we separated from overseas, that you keep and strengthen them. Be a baraka to those we commit to you, which bestow a gift of benefit upon those we commit to you, that ask us to palau for them, that support your dabarim, baraka those in leadership and authority whom you place for the execution of the Rosha, which is the wicked, and for the vindication of the Sadiq, which is the righteous. Baraka the married, the single, the separated, the sick, the afflicted, behind prison walls, war-stricken country, disease and pestilence. Count us amunah, which is give us the stability that you will allow us to escape the tribulation. Baraka us that we might perfect that which is lacking in our amunah, which is in our stability, that our heart might be unfeigned, which is our affection for you, won't be pretended. Baraka those going through the storm, the flood, the fire, the earthquakes, that we consider ourselves, be a shield and a buckler to them as we seek you for ourselves. We allow that you grant us the yada, the knowing, and seal us with the Ruach HaKadosh, which is the spirit of separation before it's a long too late. We allow that you baraka Jerusalem, bestow a gift of benefit upon the city that your own is always upon your eyes, from the beginning of the Shana of the year to the end of the Shana, which is the year. And if it's anything you see about us that could cause us to be badal, separated from your Kadash will, your separated way, we allow that you allow it to be manifested to us, that we might turn and convert, and we might halak in your amat, which is your truth. Let your debar, shar, and marshal, which is rule over us, govern us on every end, that we kata not. Blot out all of our kataim and our ma'al, which are our sins and transgression, through the mut, the death, through the kai, the life, through the dam, which is the blood of Yahushua HaMashiach, that cleanseth us from all kataim. We again give you the kabod and kabod, the glory and the honor, and to Yahushua HaMashiach. We give you the tudah, the thanksgiving, and the hadu, the thanks for all you rendered, for truly we don't deserve it. Keep us together to shakar you, which is worship you, and adore you, for truly you're worthy. When we've done all we can do here on this side, we palau, in which we ask that you grant us a beth in your Elam Malkuth, which is a home in your eternal empire, while we can see your pani, your face, and we can tahalim your shem better, which is praise your name. In the shem of Yahushua HaMashiach, let us all say, All mine. Come home. Come home. Harb you. Where y'all at? Chillins. Y'all get ready. Y'all remember how we're going to do it? They going to get a loser. Denver got to win. Where y'all at? Woo, it's a lot of y'all. Oh, who that from? This for me? You wrote this? Huh? You wrote this book? That's nice. Hold on, let's get ready. Y'all ready? Focus. Come around. Let's get ready. Focus. You don't need no microphone. We get ready. Y'all ready? Good to see. All right, y'all ready? Focus. All right, let's ready. Let's focus. Y'all ready? Man, you tripping. They're ready. Let's get ready. 1, 2, 3, hit. Rob the little children. Ooh, all the children of the congregation. Ooh, red and yellow, black and white. They are precious in His sight. Rob the little children of the congregation. Woo! Come home. Hub you.